Hey, everyone, it's good old buddy Tony Schiavone. You know, we've had so much fun bringing you What Happened When each and every week, and this could not be done without your love, your support, your love of wrestling, and your constant feedback. It means the world to me, to my buddy Conrad Thompson, to Lois, and the entire staff at WHW. Heck, it means everything to the family. And I want to let you know that we are here for you in so many ways that you don't even realize. And that's why we've come up with SaveK.com. The very best way for you to save on your mortgage, reduce your monthly payments, get out of debt faster, and even put money back in your pocket. It's simple and easy. Just go to our website at SaveK.com, fill out the form. There's no obligation, and you may not even need an appraisal. Start saving immediately with SaveK.com and the great people at First Family Mortgage. Lower your monthly payments, possibly skip your next two house payments. Thanks again from all of us at WHW. Today, right today, log on to SaveK.com and put your butt in a seat that will help save you money. MNLS number 65084, Equal Housing Lender.
You know, I asked Bill one time, I said, Bill, what would happen if you were with a girl, had no body odor or anything about her? He said, I'd go tell her to put some sweats on and run about 2 miles and then come back and see me. That was Klondike Bill.
He liked the smell.
Yeah, the dirtier, it's just, that's the way he was. He liked the bodily fluids and smell.
My God.
Yeah, my God is right.
Oh, my God!
Tony's back with Conrad, not your classic podcast. Watch him work, turn up to left, lowest rules, get bass. Wasn't the initial plan, Tony's a good-looking man. Conrad Bill, make a trip, Tony, come over here.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? Monday on the MLW Radio Network. Tony Schiavone, how are you, kind sir?
Conrad Thompson, what is going on? It's great to be talking with you another week. Hello to all the slapdicks around the world. We've got quite a program ahead of us here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for getting our T-shirts. Thanks for being a part of the resurgence of What Happened When.
I am fired up about this because we're doing something that people thought we would never do. Lots of people thought this was actually an April Fool's joke, but it's not. Fire up your WWE network and look for ECW's Barely Legal 1997. It went down almost 21 years ago to the day. Of course, today is April 16th, but we're going back to April 13th, 1997, the very first pay-per-view for Extreme Championship Wrestling. And Tony, this is going to be fun because you've never watched any ECW ever, right?
I've only watched one thing, and that was on YouTube. I saw a Sandman entrance. That's all.
I'm pretty excited about this. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. And we've got 2 hours and 42 minutes of ECW Barely Legal coming your way. So there's no better time to get started than the present. Tony, do you want to count us down, or should we let a tag team partner in, or what do you think?
Let me do it this time because apparently with what we're about to watch, Conrad, she may faint and she's too big to pick up off the floor.
So let me tell you what we're doing here. They've got this show programmed a little differently than the way they do our other shows because this is TVMA. So I want you to go ahead and skip ahead to 15 seconds in. So when Tony gives you the countdown, you should be 15 seconds in, and then we'll carry you through the rest of the way. Tony, give us that extreme countdown, sir.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh my God.
I think that means play. And this is the first time we've seen something like this with TVMA. What you're watching contains explicit language, adult themes, violence, and may not be suitable for viewers under 18.
I bet.
And here we are, the ECW arena. And you've never been here, right, Tony?
I was there to sign an autograph, but I've never been there to an event. So I was there. Now that it's kind of like a museum, I guess it is. And what do you think about this? Pyro, excite. Well, none of that. And you know, Wait a second. Bischoff takes it up the ass. You see that sign to the left there?
Oh my God.
Do you think that's true?
Well, we'll find out on 83 weeks.
Well, I was going to say, you know him quite well. Maybe ask him if it's true, but
I don't know him that well.
that Joey Styles of ECW is there. I got to meet Joey one time. Pretty good kid. And of course he was a legend, right?
He was a big deal, man. And he called this pay-per-view by himself. That's a tall order to call a whole pay-per-view by yourself. Is it not, Tony?
Oh my God. How would he do it? And the fact is that, I mean, we're talking about 3 hours of stuff. I could never do that or would never want to do that. But here's Joey Stop. Bischoff takes it up there. Put that sign down. Thank you very much. That's got my attention.
Oh,
I don't know.
Do you know who these guys are?
Oh, what the hell? Would this be the Dudley Boys?
Yes, it is. Look
coming
at you.
in okay.
You know
All right.
something. So do you know their individual names? Do you know this fellow, the African-American Dudley boy?
That was V something. V something.
Ron Simmons referred to him as Devin.
All right, Devin. All right.
And do you know the other fellow?
Yeah, the other one was Bubby Ray, Bully Ray, something like that, right?
We'll go with Bubby Ray. So we got Devin and Bubby Ray. And what about the guy carrying the sign? Do you know who that guy is right there?
That looks like Jimmy Hart with gout.
Okay,
to me.
Jimmy Hart with gout. We'll go with that. Now there's a guy with no shirt on. This is like Klondike Bill's illegitimate son.
Right.
Who's that guy? Do you know that guy?
Yeah, that's David Pinter sucking on an air hose.
Okay.
Apparently.
There we go. Right. Air hose David Pinzer. Now I think you'd like this guy because he did like dirty limericks. Are you in the loop on that? Did you know this was his gimmick?
No.
Yeah. So Dirty Dave Pinzer here. That's my new name. Dirty Dave Pinzer. And in real life, Dirty Dave Pinzer, I'm not going to tell you who he is till we're done with the match. He is a big fan of our show that we do here, and he listens every week. So we appreciate old Dirty Dave Pinzer listening.
Wow. Wait a minute. Let me adjust my glasses here. And I don't want to talk over some shit, but does he not have a shirt on here?
That's correct. He's just got the taco meat out. Just all taco. He's got a neck brace and a cummerbund and taco meat.
Okay, so now we have seen within the first. I want to get this right now. We have seen within the first 5 minutes of this show, Eric takes it up the ass. Apparently, from this sign,
right?
We've seen a guy with taco meat showing through his jacket, and everybody here is just content with just popping everybody a bird.
Lots of birds here. Lots of birds here.
Yeah.
And the championship titles here are really just ripoffs of the WWF's Intercontinental title, but I didn't care. I guess we should go ahead and say here, ECW is my favorite promotion in 1997. It's my favorite year in wrestling, but they were the little engine that could. They were underground. They were edgy. They were everything I needed as a 16-year-old. This was awesome. Let's see this opening here and get your feedback here, Tony.
The very first ECW pay-per-view, Extreme Wrestling, barely legal. Oh, of course, we're going to hit some fucker with a trash can to begin. Wow. Woohoo! Was that Francine?
That was Francine. Look at you. I love that you know the ones you want to know.
Well, yeah, I know that's Sabu. I don't know who that was. And of course, that's Stevie Richards. I guess he went by Stevie Richards. I don't know who that guy is. There goes Sabu again. You can tell by the tights. And wow, they did some about 5 or 6 Tommy Dreamer, I know him. Okay, and I think that may shaking back and forth was Fonzie. I'm not sure. On whoa. I'm sorry. I was looking at Francine again. Come on, Francine. Oh, I swear, Francine. I got love, my Francine. What you said on my face. Come on, it's ECW's barely legal. And thank you. If you're watching with me for the first time, strap in for the ride. Sorry, I use that word strap in. But strap in for the ride. If you're watching it, maybe afterwards, I hope, or if you've seen it before, I hope I don't disappoint you here today. Now, David Pinzer sucking on the air hose is going to talk to everybody here. He's got one of the Dudleys on his left and one of the Dudleys on his right. So you were a big ECW fan back in the day. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is, I absolutely love these guys. We're not watching this to, we are going to have fun with it because that's what we do here on Tony's show. But we mean absolutely no disrespect to these performers.
None.
I am a huge ECW mark. Anybody who's listening to my podcast know that that's the case. I consider some of these people we're going to see today friends, and this is just us introducing Tony to it and having a little fun with it. It's sort of like the old videos. You remember these like 10 years ago where they showed people the video, 2 Girls, 1 Cup, and they filmed their reactions. Do you remember seeing that?
No, I don't remember that.
Have you seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
No, I have not.
Do not Google that, but Klondike Bill would have really loved that. It would have been his jam. And that was the first time that like reaction videos became a thing. And that's sort of what we're doing here today. This is our wrestling version of 2 Girls, 1 Cup with Tony Schiavone.
Okay, very good. And let me also say, as another disclaimer here, there apparently was something, and I really got ticked off about this. There apparently was something a number of years ago written that said that, and this was, of course, by Meltzer. Here we go again. That said that somebody told Tony Schiavone to mention something about ECW, and he refused to do it on a WCW show, which is a blatant lie. I didn't follow ECW. I heard things about it, never followed it, and I wouldn't have not. I don't remember doing that. That was a lie. So anyway.
So your tag team champions here are Bubby and Devin. And
Bubby and Devin, okay.
Right on the outside, we've got Dave Penzer sucking on an air hose. And what'd you call the other fellow? What was your nickname for him?
Jimmy Hart with gout.
There you go. Jimmy Hart with gout. Now, you may know one of these guys. Do you recognize him?
The Eliminators, one on the left is Perry Saturn, and the one on the right is some cross-eyed guy.
That looks like Matt Coon with a weight set to me.
Really? It could, but they apparently are the Eliminators, and here they go. Boy, one of the Eliminators, Saturn, and the guy that's standing in the front yard, count the chickens in the back, whatever his name is. Who would that be?
Well, I'm not going to tell you his real name. You're going to name him. That's what we're going to do here. I should tell you at this time, though, Paul Heyman had started to market the Eliminators as the best tag team in the world. And a lot of people really bought into that. Now, check out this finishing maneuver here, Tony. What would you call that? What would you call that maneuver?
That was a schoolboy front kick is what that was.
No, I'm going to need you to give it a Klondike name. We're trying to have fun here today.
Okay. That was, it
was 2 kicks at the same time. What about double penetration?
Double penetration. I was going to say it was the douche plug, but double penetration will be fine.
I think either one of those will work.
All right, here we go. And this is for the ECW Tag Team Championship, I would take it.
You got it. That's exactly right. And right now we've got 2 WWE Hall of Famers in there, Bubby and Devin.
Right, because Bubby and Devin were just inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And, of course, the Dudleys apparently made their name for themselves in the WWE as well. Now we're taking a look at what's going on here at the ECW arena, and let's take camera 2 and let's go to camera 1. Okay, we're still on camera 1, and let's take camera 2. Okay, camera 2 and camera 1 apparently was this like a 2-camera shoot?
I believe there's 3. You're going to see one at an angle. There's your roving camera there, and then you've got a regular hard. There's your hard cam again.
Okay. We've got a guy that works with us, MLW, named Charlie, who worked for all of these.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm telling you, fans were into this shit, man, weren't they?
Man,
wow.
This ECW arena crowd was something else. It really became like a legendary deal. I know a generation before, people used to talk about the Sportatorium that way.
Yeah.
But in my generation, this was the deal. I mean, to the point where for my senior trip in high school, a lot of my friends were like trying to go to Mexico. I'm like, Mom and Dad, I want to go to the corner of Swanson and Rittner in Philadelphia. And they sent myself and a friend to Cyber Slam 99. And it was the fucking coolest thing ever to sit on those bleachers and watch these guys rip it up.
Wow. How about that? Double team. Hey, this, Paulie was right. This was a heck of a tag team right here. Saturn and cross-eyed guy, whoever he is.
Saturn and Matt Coon with a weight set.
Matt Coon with a weight set. Okay, there you go. And here we go. This is for the Tag Team Championship. Now, we're about, 5-6 minutes into this match?
How many tags have we seen so far, Tony?
I've lost count. I don't know.
None.
None. Okay. So all four are in. So I see what you're saying now is that the fact that, wow, Saturn and Matt Coon on a weight set off with a tilt-a-whirl splash, and down they go. So what we're saying is that there's been no semblance of tag team work here at all. The referee doesn't give a shit about that because why? Oh my God! This is Extreme Championship Wrestling.
That's
and
right.
The fans buying into it, man.
And there's a chant going on whenever they do big moves like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what the chant is?
It have to be ECW. ECW. Would that be it?
Well,
or am I
they
missing
do
something?
have that one. They have other creative chants too. I'll teach you today. Now I want you to notice right here. I believe it was right there. Bubby just broke his ankle. Now,
wow.
I could be mistaken, but very early in this match, I believe he broke his ankle, or maybe it was a foot. He had a pretty severe injury, and you see Saturn looking at him like, what the hell's going on? And he's going to be limping around something serious after that spot.
And look at this spot. Over the top, double team, and down he goes, and Saturn's checking to make sure he's okay, as you can see. And Bubby is down, and he's letting Saturn know that he is hurt. But Daryl is the other guy. Look at, oh my God.
Did you just call him Daryl? We're going with Daryl. Okay. Matt Coon with a weight set is now Daryl. Daryl. Saturn and Daryl.
Daryl with an incredible handspring over the top.
Can you imagine,
to the floor?
Can you imagine getting your ass beat by a dude named Daryl? I mean,
could be worse. It could be by a dude named Cecil. Up on top, Saturn using the top rope as a springboard. And here they're all four back in once again. Boy, yeah, you can see that Bubby is just oh man, he is badly hurt. But as here comes a handspring from Daryl again, back elbow. Daryl with the Muda back handspring elbow. Oh, scoop up and a pickup. And again, there has been absolutely no fucking tags here.
What about that elbow drop right there from Saturn?
Oh man, Saturn could do a lot of great shit, man. A lot of stuff.
Isn't this the type of match that the Rock and Rolls worked with the Midnights back in '86?
Oh yeah, absolutely. This was the classic Rock and Roll Midnight Express stuff back then.
In fairness, though, even though we're mocking the fact that they're not doing any sort of tag wrestling here, and it's more of a tornado style, the Eliminators are using a lot of synchronized tag moves.
Yes, they are. And not only that, thumbs up to Bubby here for hanging in there. I mean, you could tell just a moment. Look at Saturn just walk the rope. My God. I
mean, that's some Sabu stuff right there. I mean, I think people sort of overlook how talented Saturn was here. And this is before he got to the quote unquote big leagues with WCW, but he was pulling out all the stops here on pay-per-view.
I get the feeling, it looks like the sun is broken through. Look how bright the fans are on the other side.
Watch Daryl here. This is a big boy. Okay. Daryl's a big boy to be doing this.
Yes, so Daryl, oh my God, a 450 off the top.
That's not Matt Coon's weight. This is Matt Coon with a weight set. Matt Coon with a weight set can do a 450.
Wow, can he ever? And the fans responded. I get the feeling here, Conrad, and tell me if I'm wrong, and you fans, and thank you for playing along with us here. Was this the beginning of the fans going for high spots? In other words, they're just cheering for high spots here. They're not cheering for any storylines or any story being told because there's no story being told here. They're just four guys and a bunch of high spots.
Oh my God, the double penetration on Bubby.
Oh God.
1, 2, 3. We've got new tag team champions. It's Saturn. It's Daryl. The Eliminators.
Yes, sir. With the double penetration in there, you see the fans going crazy. Some are still popping the bird because that's what they do in South Philadelphia. And they win the first event here at Barely Legal.
I feel like now's a good time to tell you, his name is John Cronus, and he has passed away a few years ago, but he was a very talented performer. I shared Waffle House with him once in Birmingham. Super nice guy. Gave a lot to the fans. Had some challenges in his life and his life was cut short, but here we see one of Daryl's finer moments, or as I used to know him, John Cronus, but he's Daryl now. Yeah. Well, Daryl could do some great things. That was very apparent for a big guy. And of course we've seen now the tag team championship change hands without a tag being made. Was that the rule, Conrad? Tell me, since you watched this back then. Just pin somebody and you win. Now this guy talking, he calls himself the quintessential stud muffin, and we're going to go with Dave Penzer sucking on an air hose. Right. That's right. And he doesn't have a tuck shirt on. And apparently, Daryl and Saturn don't like what he has to say right now.
And that tends to make me believe that some shit's getting ready to go down. Am I right? Am I right?
Well, I mean, if you've been watching wrestling like I've been watching wrestling,
right. When they don't like something, whoa, into the midsection. And of course, the double penetration on David Pinger sucking an air hose. Good job of selling, DP, air hose. And there you go. Daryl and Saturn are the Extreme Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions.
Daryl and Saturn. Fucking never going to forget Daryl for the rest of my life now. So awesome.
Well, it's kind of like Daryl and my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl, if you'll recall from the New Hard show back then.
No, I never watched that. I'm 36.
I'm sure you didn't.
Shout out to the Dudley boys for making it into the WWE Hall of Fame. And if you see Perry Saturn online, you should support everything that he's doing. He has been an American hero and lately had some tough times. So support our buddy Perry Saturn any chance you get. Now, Joey Styles is out of wrestling. He's pulled a Tony Schiavone. Right. He's just said, fuck it. I'm done.
Didn't he do like a major walk-off on a WWE event?
Well, that was staged, and he worked behind the scenes for a long time with WWE. But then a year or so ago, he did a promo. I guess it was a couple years now. He did a promo for the WWE, and that was cut short. And he's done with wrestling for now. But we've got some promos here coming up, and I'm going to need your feedback for this guy. Who is this guy?
Wow, this is Sandman. How about this? Enter night. Day fucking light.
That guy he's hitting with the cane. What's his name?
That would be Fred Smith. And the reason I say Fred Smith, because it looks like the guy that just worked on my car last week.
His wrestling name was Balls Mahoney, and he would come out to the AC/DC "We've Got Big Balls" song.
Okay.
And the crowd would chant balls, balls.
I said this and I'm sincere about this. I watched a Sandman entrance with the real music, right, from Metallica.
Right.
And the fans were singing along with it. It was badass, buddy. It was absolutely badass.
That is what ECW was. It was a feeling. I know that sounds funny, but when you were there, it was a feeling that you didn't get going to Raw or Nitro. So in ring right now, we've got an in-ring promo. You may know who this is because he was in WCW for a minute.
Yeah, this is Chris Candido.
Yeah.
Does that mean that Tammy's going to be around somewhere here? Maybe, possibly.
I don't.
Maybe
she is there, but I think she's in the back working gimmicks.
I bet. Oh man, so Chris has got his arm in a sling. And
how did he get that? I mean, tell us the backstory of how you think Chris got his arm in a sling.
Okay, Chris got his arm in a sling when he was working a program with Tammy, and he's got his arm cut stuck in a very large orifice and couldn't pull it out.
Oh, did it happen on Skype?
It could have. It could have happened on Skype.
Lots of bad things have happened to you on Skype this year.
Me?
Well, this podcast, for instance.
Yes. You know what? I realize what we're doing now. I get it. Okay. We're going to get Schiavone to go down as low as that motherfucker can go. Okay. As low as he can go here on ECW Hardcore Barely Legal. And no one will want to listen to me ever again.
Well, nobody wants to listen now, you know?
Okay. But if we put a smile on your face, thank you very much for being a part of it. Now, Chris Candido, I don't know what he's talking about here. Maybe he's talking about blowing out the arm some other different way with Tammy. I'm not so sure. But let's not forget that, and now we know Chris is gone, but he was a hell of a worker too. Really, really a hell of a worker. As a matter of fact, it's going to be, it was pretty apparent. You got Saturn, you got Candido. They all went to WCW and we're all very good performers.
Yeah, I think Chris Candido is one of the more underrated wrestlers.
Wow.
You know this fellow. Do you recognize this fellow?
Yeah, this is Lance Storm. I recognize him. There's another great performer that went to WCW and did quite well.
How young is Lance Storm here, by the way?
Wow.
28 years old, I believe, here. And showing a little respect to Chris Candido. How would you describe Lance Storm's hairdo right here?
That would be a cocktail.
A
cocktail.
Okay.
A cocktail.
It feels like a swap meet special.
Oh. All right.
I mean, I've never known a dude from Calgary, Alberta, Canada to like go to the barber and be like, make me look like I'm from rural Alabama.
Yeah, right. Make me look like a girl from rural Alabama.
I know I didn't wear a denim jacket and driving here in an old Trans Am with T-tops blasting Aereo Speedwagon, but I'm going to need you to go ahead and pretend like I did and give me that Alabama special.
I'm very interested to notice here, and this happened in the first match, the entrances for the other guy or the opponent seems to take quite a while here. It seems like they're building up the suspense. Would that be correct? I mean, they announced Lance Storm. It's Rob Van Dam.
He was
son of a bitch.
He was in WCW for a hiccup.
Yes, he was.
Robbie V.
Robbie V.
Were
right.
you in the? I mean, were you hopeful that Rob Van Dam might wind up in WCW at some point? Here in early '97, he was regarded as being one of the bright prospects in professional wrestling.
Yes, he was, and there was hope that he would become that as well. And I guess the concern was because they thought he looked like facially Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's why he took the name of Robbie Van Dam.
Well,
and I
think he's just trying to work a gimmick. I mean, if you could have been Jimmy Schwarzenegger, you would have, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mikey Stallone.
Holy shit, he's hopping around, twirling around like a cheerleader now. All right, here we go.
What?
Would you see him hop and twirl and spin and all that stuff?
I mean, I thought I saw it move on you. You're getting really excited there.
Well, he was just hopping. I mean, it almost for a minute looked like the NCAA cheerleading finals won by the little girls from University of Kentucky. And here we go.
How about the dude underneath the hard cam smoking weed on camera?
Why not?
You see a little puff of smoke come from down below and you're like, okay,
why not? If you got them, smoke them. And if you don't, here's one for you as well. Also notice Bill Apter and his bald spot is here. And George, how you doing? Napolitano is here as well. And Jimmy Suzuki may be here as well. Bunch of shutterbugs. And up top, Lance Storm to the midsection and to the near side. Are they bleeding yet? Are they through a table yet?
I'll have you know there was no bleeding or table spots in match one at all.
Wow. And there were no tags in match one as well. Yes. Not a damn one of them.
Yeah, I guess they shouldn't have been the tag team champions. They should have been the 4-man champions or
Texas Tornado champions, right?
Take the word tag out, right? I mean, there's no tagging.
Right, exactly. And here's Van Dam with a series of kicks. A deep arm drag takedown going up top. Whoa, he connected. And only got a 1 count out of that. And now they go on to the outside. Now, this is where ECW's at its best, right? On the outside. Oh, suicide dive. Nicely done. And again, in the grand storyline of old school wrestling, if you execute a dive like that early in the match, where do you go from here, right? I mean, I always scratch my head about that, and I don't want to be seen as just an old fart.
Well, you are. You're Dick Borning it right now. I mean, Here's the thing. I know this isn't popular, and you're going to be super mad at me, but I had a conversation, and I'll reveal who it was with in a minute. But he grew up a big Mid-Atlantic fan, and he grew up on the good old days, so to speak. But even he told me this weekend, man, you go back and watch that stuff. God, it's so boring. You know, I mean, it's what he grew up on, so he loves it and he has a soft spot in his heart for it. But you compare it to, wrestling in 2018 or even wrestling here in 1997 in ECW, and there's just no comparison.
Well, okay, I agree. And that's because society has changed. What society likes and what have been exposed to. I would say that had we been exposed to this type of wrestling, whoa, Lance Storm over the top. Had we been exposed to this type of wrestling in 1977, 20 years earlier, we would have thought this the greatest thing ever.
Right.
We really would have. And he's going to take Bill Apter and shove his skitty ass around and go after Lance Storm again.
It was sort of interesting that Rob had to do that. It's like, what the fuck was Bill thinking? Like, dude, I'm throwing dudes in your direction. Get out of the way. And you never saw Bill after out of position, but it just goes to show you how tight of quarters they had, because the separation between the guardrail and the ring on this side underneath the hard cam is tiny. There's no room to move around at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's gotta be hot in there, I would think, or I don't, what time of year was this, when they did this? April
13th, 1997, corner of Swanson and Rittner.
Yeah. Okay. So now he's got a chair, and all of a sudden we are 6-7 minutes into the match and they're using a chair. Of course they are. And this is what it's all about. Smart me up here. Paulie dangerously ran the company, right?
Yes.
Whoa! Not only does he hit a chair, he throws it at that motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead with a chair. Hell no, I'm throwing it at that motherfucker. Wow. My God.
I loved it. As a kid, man, I thought that was awesome. Like, why just keep it? Just throw it at him. It was awesome.
Yeah, right. It's just absolutely doing something absolutely different that I don't remember seeing that. I don't remember seeing someone throw a chair at someone else and using the chair on the feet with a baseball slide drop kick. And Rob Van Dam, wow, making some real good moves here and looking pretty good here in the opening moments of this matchup, which I'm assuming is, and of course I wasn't listening. Is Rob here like a substitute, or is Lance Armstrong a substitute for Chris Candido, who couldn't make it?
If Lance Armstrong was here, it would be a totally different show.
Oh, did I say Lance? Look at this. I pancaked him face first.
Here's the difference too. Lance Storm never doped.
No, he did not.
Lance Storm is as clean as a whistle, unlike Klondike Bill or Lance Armstrong.
Up on top, Van Dam with a big splash. And he doesn't cover him. Now he does. 1, 2. See, now that is silly. Okay.
Yeah. So
I understand hardcore wrestling, I guess. But if you don't want to pin him at the beginning, why do you try to turn around and pin him after that?
I guess I should tell you, not too long before this.
Just throw it at that motherfucker. Good God. Damn. I'm loving this. I'm glad Lois is not watching, because she may end up throwing a chair at me one day. Good God. Holy shit. All right. I'm just kind of sitting here waiting. What the fuck's going to happen next? There you go. Jab it in his eye. All right. Don't know what that was about. Okay. Left it down for his opponent to slam him face first on. I got it now. I got it. I don't know about you, but man, I'm out of breath watching this stuff, and we're only like 10 minutes into this match.
Man, I've seen this pay-per-view so many times. You know, at the time, they were not on all pay-per-view systems, so I couldn't get the pay-per-view. I had to convince a guy that my dad worked with to order it, and with the promise that I would give him the money for it. Just order the damn pay-per-view and bring me a VHS. So I got to watch it on April 14th, right after school.
Handspring by Lance Storm, and he's going to go up top to connect with Robbie Van Dam, and a great forearm shot off the top. There you go. Cover, hooks a far leg, and got a 2 count. I do need to say, interject something here if I can. The debut of MLW Fusion is coming up this Friday on BN Sports Network, and I was amazed. Maybe you won't be, but I was amazed at how many holds I had forgotten and maneuvers I had forgotten. So I'm sure there's going to be people out there saying, Schiavone doesn't know shit. Well, guess what? You're right. It's going to take a little while to get back into it.
Well, I know people are excited to see you back in wrestling. And I guess we should tell everybody that BN Sports is actually on DirecTV. So if you've got DirecTV, you probably have this channel. You can find out all about it on the MLW Twitter feed, or of course, MLW.TV, or anywhere you find MLW news. You'll be able to sort of keep abreast of all the different ways you can watch it. But it's a big deal whenever a wrestling promotion gets on TV. There's only a handful of those doing it. WWE, of course, Lucha Underground, Impact, Ring of Honor, and now MLW. So support Tony, support MLW, support independent wrestling. Court's going to be hot that I called it independent, but it's not WWE, but still it's going to have a big time feel to it because that's what Court does.
Yeah. And he's doing a great job with it. And, it's going to throw it at him again. Why not? Oh, and he crowned him with it. You're right about calling independent wrestling. I mentioned independent wrestling and on one of the matches, and there's a 2 count, and Court said to me in his great best Vince McMahon voice, "It's not independent wrestling, goddammit. It's MLW." I said, "Okay, thank you, little Vinny."
Did he say "God damn it" too?
Yes, he did.
That's awesome. So by the way, I guess we should mention Lance Storm just powerbombed this motherfucker on a chair.
Yeah.
And then leg dropped him off the top onto the chair. They're pulling out all the stops in this, and it's just the second match, Tony.
Second match, and this is what hardcore is all about. Conrad Thompson, back elbow and a standing switch. Why not a standing switch after all this shit? And Van Dam tries to kick out of it. Lance Storm, a nut shot.
Right
and
in the dick.
I guess nut shots are legal in hardcore wrestling. Is that correct?
They are.
Okay, very good. Oh, he fell down. Oh, he completely missed. Absolutely completely missed. And the fans chant.
The fans are chanting, you fucked up. You fucked up. Can you imagine if they tried to chant that shit at Ole Anderson in about 1984?
Oh, God. He would have gone out in the crowd and grabbed one. Smallest guy he could have found, but he would have grabbed one. You fucked up. Oh, my God. German suplex on the back of his head.
With a bridge.
Yes, with a bridge. Let me ask you, since you followed this, the injury rate had to be phenomenal.
No, these guys rubbed dirt on it and kept going, man. You just saw Bubba Ray break his fucking foot in the first match. Let's keep going.
Yeah, okay. Well, and I get that. But for crying out loud, Van Dam back up, and the chair has been used back and forth, and the fans again cheering on. Oh, 1, 2, 3.
So what would you call the finish there? He throws the chair at his opponent. The opponent catches it, and then he kicks it in their face. What would you call it?
Okay. That would be, boy, you're trying my I'm trying my best here. It would be, wait a minute.
What about the, fuck your couch?
Fuck your couch?
Fuck your couch.
Okay. How about fuck your chair?
How about, fuck you in the face?
Fuck in the face. That's kind of what he did. And Storm is going to get up. Now, apparently something's going to happen here because they're both back up. Van Dam's getting a lot of birds from the front row.
I guess we should mention here that a couple of weeks prior to this, WWE allowed them to come on to their show and sort of showcase what ECW was all about and give them some publicity for the pay-per-view. And one of the things they got to do is have Rob Van Dam work a match, and he got a little bit of prime time play. And so now he's trying to call himself Mr. Monday Night Rob Van Dam, with the idea that he's too big for this place. He's too good for here. He's only here a little while longer. And then he's going to Monday Night because that's where all the money is. The real question is, where am I going? And so he's cutting a promo about how he feels passed over because he wasn't out here to get any of those people's respect. He's out here to get a job on Monday Night and not to be some sort of stand-in or backup or replacement character, because Chris Candido was, of course, injured.
Right. And so that's why the fans are popping him the bird, because they're pissed off because he's turning his back on EC fucking W.
Yeah. They say that he turned his back on the fans, much like Bruce and I did when we got a network show.
Right. Absolutely. You did.
Well, I mean, you turned your back on the fans too, because now you work for MLW and you're on cable calling wrestling again, and you've turned your back on us, Tony.
How did I turn my back on you guys?
Well, how did I turn my back when I did something for the network?
Well, because you sold out to...
oh, you're working for free down there?
Yeah, you sold out to the evil empire. You see?
Well, Court's trying to build an evil empire.
Well, he ain't got it yet, but you have sold out to the evil empire.
I'm still doing the fucking shows. I'm on here naming finishing moves, the fuck you in the face. I mean, I don't know how much I've sold out.
Okay. I'm just... now, have you on social media, have you Have people say that you're selling out?
Oh my gosh, so much. Hey, so there's a famous row of fans here. You got the Howard Stern guy. You see the Howard Stern fan?
Right.
And then you've also got the straw hat guy, Hawaiian shirt guy.
Right.
And one of those guys is Mike Johnson, who works for PW Insider, which is arguably one of the biggest wrestling news sites around. It's in the same conversation with a Dave Meltzer, Wade Keller, or WrestleZone, or whatever you're into. And Mike's a good friend of mine, but I don't think I've always noticed that he was cheering his ass off in the front row. So don't look at any of these names. Look away, Tony. I don't want you to know any of these names, because I want you to be able to sort of name these guys, because what we've got coming up next is a special attraction, as Bruce Prichard would like to say. It's Michinoku Pro. They've sent 6 Japanese wrestlers over. I know it's going to be your favorite. And I'm going to let you name these performers, because I don't want us to sort of spoil the fun here.
Wait a minute. There's a fat Japanese guy that's running to the ring. Who the hell is this on the left?
That's the referee. What's his name?
I wasn't sure who that was.
That's Chubby Ono. I'm fat.
Chubby Ono.
I can call it.
Okay.
It's okay if I do it. It's not okay it's okay if Silva does it. It's okay if Matt Coon, you can do it, Bruce. Okay. Any of us can do it.
All right, so we're just kind of waiting right now. Referee, the ring announcer looking down at his dick, making sure that his dick is okay.
What's the ring announcer's name?
Wow, that would be Gary Kashida. Oh,
Gary Kashida. So
Gary Kashida. Oh, here come to ring. Holy fuck!
Oh my God,
we too low. Me here, bang.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you some insight here.
Okay.
The guy who just got in the ring, who is at the back, the thicker of the bunch.
Yep.
With the blue pants.
Right.
His real name is Dick to Go.
No.
That's his. Well, I don't know if it's his real name. That's his wrestling. Dick to Go.
Dick to Go. Holy fuck.
Oh my gosh. You're wrong for that.
Okay, that's spelled Japanese F-U-K.
Do you know?
Here come big ear Japanese leprechaun.
See, I thought he would be like Japanese Peter Pan.
Okay, and here comes a 58-year-old small Japanese guy. My God, he's old.
Oh
yes, how about that? On cue, the fans. Very nicely done. Absolutely nicely done. So they're going to go ahead and wrestle in all this shit, aren't they? They're not going to clean it up.
No, they're going to clean it up.
They are?
Yeah, of course.
Why would they fucking? It's ECW. Why would you clean it up?
Because these guys are from Japan and they have respect over there. They wipe their feet before they get in the mat.
Right. Yeah. Right. Respect?
What?
Yeah. Fucking respect. We just saw a guy throw a chair at a guy's head. But so now you want to turn around and say, we're going to have some respect in this match?
Those guys weren't Japanese. These guys come from a different, like they were young boys. They had to scrub dudes' backs and stuff.
What?
Yeah. You know about the Japanese culture in wrestling. Young boys.
Ooh, I don't want to hear this story.
Oh no, it's not what you think. It's not like the WWF version of that. What?
It's not like any ring crew or anything like that.
Come on. You know, I'm getting checks from up there. You need to calm down.
Okay. See?
I sold
out.
I sold out. I said it first. I didn't fucking sell out. Come on.
You sold out. Motherfucking, you're a WWE employee.
I'm not an employee. That's actually fake news. How
can you even look at yourself in the fucking mirror?
Well, it takes a big mirror. I'm a fat guy.
Okay. Can you give me a job? Okay, here we go. I don't blame.
What's great is I imagine I'm like the kid on the bicycle and I've got you in the front basket like E.T. and you're like, Elliot, take me with you.
Take me with you. Ouch.
All right, so Taka Michinoku in there with Gran Hamada right now.
Okay.
I'm probably murdering all that, but the fellow on the left here, well, we just changed shots. The guy in the mask who looks like what's he look like? What's he dressed like?
He's dressed like a black ninja.
I needed you to say ninja.
Okay.
He's a pretty big deal in wrestling. His name's Great Sasuke, and he apparently was a member of the Japanese government, which I believe the arm of the government he was in over there, the branch as it were, is called the Japanese diet. Now, of course, I would not qualify because I don't know shit about diets.
Right.
But it's a pretty big deal that he's still wrestling at 917 years old. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was at WrestleMania wrestling at like 3:30 in the morning against a hardcore wrestler who listens to our show. Great guy named Joey Janela. Have you heard of Joey before?
Yeah, the bad boy Joey Janela. He's part of MLW.
See, I was looking for you to get a little plug there.
All right, thank you very much.
Joey Janela just put on Spring Break #2, and he wrestled Great Sasuke.
Okay.
At 3:00 in the morning, and then they sang Bon Jovi after.
All right. Let me ask you. I know that these three Japanese wrestlers are not members of the BWO, are they? They're not member of the Blue World Order?
They're as much of a member as Masahiro Chono was of the NWO.
Okay. All right. So that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. I mean, the BWO's over, man.
Yeah, I know it's over. So they're just going to put on the tops, and they're going to get over as well by wearing the BWO.
Well, I think the idea is this is how you sort of smarten up the audience that may not be familiar, because I'm sure there's a bunch of tape traders in there, and a lot of them know who Sasuke is, and a lot of them know who Taka is, but they probably don't know about old Dick to Go right there.
Right.
And the way you sort of let them know these guys are baby faces and these guys are heels is you throw the shirts on, sort of like shirts versus skins, right?
Yeah, I get that. And then what is the one thing that just doesn't seem to fit in here? And that is the leprechaun.
Well, see, I still want to go with him being Peter Pan.
Okay.
Like, I just really feel like he's Peter Pan, because a leprechaun to me is like our man Hornswoggle, who I know listens to the show. And he's probably using some of Bruce Prichard's old products right now. Did you ever hear about a product that Bruce tried to make called Mama Joanna?
No, I did not.
It was an energy shot that gave you the effects of weed, but also gave you energy. I don't know how that worked. I guess there's like a couple of different types of weed. I'm from Alabama. I don't know about these things. But to my surprise, old Mama Joanna was not a hit. And I think Hornswoggle stocked up on it. I think he might have actually been the only buyer.
Well, there was also at one time an energy drink that you could get, by the way, in Tennessee and Alabama called cocaine. Did you ever see that?
No, but they had something in the hills of Alabama called crystal meth. It was like Crystal Light, except not just for housewives, you know?
Right.
I had an uncle who was on it, and that Crystal Light never had the effect on me that crystal meth did on him. He don't got no teeth, yo.
Well, Peter Pan flies into the ropes, and that kid just will never grow up. Look at that. Wow.
Peter Pan ordered some dick to go.
Yes, sir, buddy. And spinning over the top, arm drag takedown. And again, just cheering the high spots here. Watch out. Peter Pan does a backflip and then staggers around like a drunk man. Oh, God. They're doing some pretty good stuff here, man. Peter Pan, I said it just doesn't seem to fit, but he's stealing the show here right now.
He had his working boots on, man.
Yes, sir, he did. Now, all right, who's the old guy in the black trunks here?
That's Gran Hamada.
Gran Hamada.
And the other guy with the blonde hair, that's Terry Boy.
Okay. Gran Hamada is also a sushi roll that you can get at Mr. Tojo's in Vancouver, by the way.
I feel like I should, to me, Gran Hamada looks like the Japanese Bobby Fulton.
Yeah. About the same size too.
Tommy Rogers. You know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys.
2'1". Wow. Goes for the submission once again. Boy, the referee, the old fat referee just kind of flopped in the corner now.
I mean, I could be a referee if that's all you got to do. Just,
I know.
I'm going to stand in the corner, and if there's a pinfall, I'll slide out there. But otherwise.
Well, is it, and I've not watched enough Japanese wrestling to be able to say I know, but is it characteristic for Japanese referees to stay in the corner? Because that's pretty much what he's doing.
No, I don't know that it's necessarily characteristic. I'll tell you what, though, the most over Japanese referee is a guy that Jim Ross, I believe it was Jim Ross, nicknamed Red Shoes because the referee was wearing red wrestling boots. And so rather than bother with learning his name, JR just said, oh, Red Shoes going to go for the count there. By the way, I feel like now's a good time to remind everybody about the fine shirts that we're offering over at lowestrules.com. And at the top of the site, I believe we've got what will be our #1 seller in short order. Tony, tell them all about it.
It's a brand new shirt that was that Conrad Thompson came up with that is probably going to get me in a lot of shit with my good friend JR. But it says
it's a tan cowboy hat.
And it says
sassafras.
So get your sassafras hat today at lowestrules.com.
Now let's talk about it, okay? I don't understand why anybody thinks that JR would have a problem with this. Number one, JR does an impression of Jim Barnett talking about my chubby cherub cheeks every single week. I'm fine with it. It's a joke.
Okay.
It's a funny ha-ha. And when people told him about me going, sassafras, he didn't understand it, and he asked, somebody smartened me up about sassafras. So I explained it. He loved it, thought it was funny. And on his podcast, he said, hey, people think I'm pissed off when those guys do impressions of me. I'm not. Conrad knows what I drink, and he knows when Christmas is. It's fun. So I want you to support JR's, barbecue sauce and his products. And I think he's even told us specifically, we're cool with doing live shows and podcasts and impressions, but if we start doing barbecue sauce, he's got a fucking problem. Do you have any intentions of selling barbecue sauce?
No, I wouldn't know the first thing about barbecue sauce. I'm not a condiments type guy.
I know. I've met 5 of your kids. You never wore a condiment in your life.
No, condiment.
Oh, sorry.
Condiment. I don't put mayonnaise on my hamburger.
Well, you sling that, man. Never mind. So here's the deal. Sassafras, he never said, there's never one documented instance of Jim Ross ever saying the word sassafras, and he never wore a tan hat. So I say this hat, this shirt, this saying, this is fine at lowestrules.com. Sassafras. I do think us selling the shirt is a little suspect at best, though.
Well, that term I've heard many times too, when referring to you. But I also like to say that speaking of lowestrules.com, we're going to have at the end of this program a surprise. It's an Easter egg in this show. And it has to do with, if you watched WrestleMania recently, it has to do with that.
I feel like we should just go ahead and shout out the phenomenal support we had at WrestleMania, because we had a Klondike Bill's Glass Bottom Boat Ride shirt make the pre-show. And then front and damn center for the majority of the show, we had a Lowest Rules sign, and we really appreciate all the support. And hopefully at the beginning of the show, you heard a little bit of an ECW Easter egg. And now at the end of the show, we've got one as a thank you for the Lowest Rules sign. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And shout out to Matt Kuhn for tuning up the band and doing that custom ECW entrance music for us this week. Just our version. I find it funny here that they blur out the middle finger from Taka Michinoku when he flips people off, but it was totally cool when 1100 in the crowd did it.
Yeah. And there's got to be a reason behind that. I don't know what that is. Maybe maybe Vince said none of our performers, God damn it, are going to pop somebody a bird on our show.
Stone Cold Steve Austin did that like crazy. I think the deal is they probably had an agreement with Michinoku Pro that they wouldn't do that or they wouldn't show it.
Or maybe they stuck up the wrong finger. It looks fucking silly. So they just.
Oh, you don't think Taka knows which one's the right middle finger?
Well, I don't. Maybe is the middle finger. Is this different in Japan? Would it be the ring finger that meant fuck you in Japan? I'm sorry, that meant right now. Fuck you, not fuck you, but fuck you. Okay, that's the ring finger.
We're getting. This is our last episode. We're getting thrown off the air. I mean, my Lord,
what? All the shit that you've said, and I just say fuck you, and we get thrown off the air. But I can say that because you know why? I am old commentary ninja.
I'm not arguing that at all. I love you,
and
Tony.
that's lowestrules.com.
Lowestrules.com. Absolutely.
Wow, brainbuster. Nicely done by Little Dick. 1, 2. Now the other guy is Big Dick, right? And this is Little Dick?
No, that's Taka Michinoku, and this is Terry Boy.
Terry Boy,
and
okay.
This is the guy we've decided to call Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Peter Pan has been I think he's wearing green for a reason. He's standing out because he's. Oh my God! Great! Look at this! Holy shit! And the fans go wild. And I don't blame them. 1, 2, and he kicked out in 2. My God! Can we see a replay on that, please?
No,
I guess there are no replays here tonight, right?
No. But here's what Dick to Go is famous for: the senton bomb.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, he missed that one.
More of a swanton there, but man, when he hit him flat, woo, it was awesome looking.
Yeah, he flew his fat ass over the top on that one. And now Terry Boy picks up, belly to back. These Japanese kids are getting it on, man. They really are.
I think I fucked up everybody's name so far. Pretty sure.
That's okay.
The guy I thought was Terry Boy is fucking tight say Men's Tao. So
okay.
I probably just fucked all this up.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We're having fun, man. We're enjoying. I'm enjoying my first ECW event 21 years after the fact.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm in.
This thing's 21 years old.
No.
And you know what? 21 years after the fact, it really resonates with today's wrestling, doesn't it? I mean, there's more of what I'm seeing in MLW now is more of what I've been seeing at ECW than I ever saw at WCW. Does that make sense to you? Look at this triple power bomb, man. 1, 2, 3. Oh, a save. And the government employee came in and saved him. I mean, this is, fucked up that spot.
No, I had the name right. Now the guy, we can't remember his name is Masato Yakushi. Fuck it. We're going to go with Masato.
Masato, fuck it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Which one is Masato, fuck it? Is he in the ring now?
Barely, not barely legal, but Peter Pan is Masato, fuck it.
Okay. Masato, fuck it. Look at this. 1, 2, he had a double pin. And here's Big Dick Hurts. Whoa. What do you call him? Is it Dick what?
Dick to go.
Dick to go. I can't remember the stuff. It made me off. Oh my God. He went over the top and he went into the front row.
Let me make sure you never forget his name again. His name is whatever Jim Barnett would order takeout.
This is Terry Boy up top. Oh, and he comes off with a reverse power bomb that time.
I thought it was like an atomic bomb. I thought it was like a nutcracker.
I don't know. See, I'm completely lost on all these.
Masato, fuck it with a missile drop kick.
Oh, Peter Pan go top. 1, 2. He got a 2 count. I'll never grow up. I'll never get old.
Oh my God.
I'm going to take flight, Wendy. Down on you I go. 1, 2. Oh, Peter Pan. Not yet.
I can't believe this is real life.
He's the kid's spectacular, man. He is. He does some great shit. Terry Boy now goes over the top, and that is a DDT. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
There's so many new moves now, and so many things to keep up with. 1, 2, and a save. And it's just like I was telling you, calling MLW Wrestling now MLW Fusion. There's so many new moves now that they have already been named. And I just kind of get lost in the shuffle of all these. And so just guys, hang with me on this. I'll get them all right one day or the other. I'm really enjoying this match. This is, I know we've made a lot of fun of it. Wow. How about that DDT from the top? 1, 2, and a 2 count. We're seeing just high spot after high spot and guys kicking out of it. And this is kind of, what we're seeing today in wrestling. So matches like this had more of an impact on today's wrestling than what I was used to back on the other side of the world in WCW back then. I mean, we were still back then, Conrad, thinking that, grab a headlock, right? Tell a story. And apparently that wasn't it, man. This is more evergreen than the other stuff. Okay, now old fucker up top. Huracan Rana, as Mike Tenay would say. And, well, take camera 2. Oh, thank you. All right, there you go. Missed that spot. And here the government employee's got a chair. Oh, Peter Pan up top. And a flying Huda Conrad, or if what we would call ham cubes Frankensteiner. Here we go. Suicide dive. Oh,
I forgot to tell you this.
What?
So, a guy told me it's something to waffle on WrestleMania morning that he ran into ham cubes at WrestleCon, and he asked for pictures and autograph and the whole deal. And he said, "Can I get you to sign it, ham cubes?" And Scott looked up at the guy and said, "Fuck Tony and fuck that other guy."
Wow. Looks like I'm not going to go there for the breakfast buffet this weekend.
Nobody else did either.
Really? He said that, man.
Yeah. Apparently. Now here's the deal. He could be having fun like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well,
I think, he lets, look at this springboard into a shooting star press and got a 1-2. Did that get it or not?
No,
only
did
a
not.
2 count. Good God. These guys are just freaking tearing it up, man.
Chubby Ono, not in a hurry to make it count, but it was just a 2 count.
Yeah. And there you got almost a bridge to a fisherman suplex.
That's it.
And that is it, man.
Now here's what's interesting. This promotion that brought these wrestlers over is Grand Sasuke's. So
Okay.
he's bringing them over and he's going over.
Well, sure he is. Of course he is. Why not?
Look how disappointed old Dick to go is. He had big plans.
I know. He did.
Masato, fuck it. Not really sure what the hell's going on. He's excited they won.
Peter Pan dropped down one knee. And as you can see, the sign over on my right. Oh, my God! Great match, guys.
Can you believe
Absolutely
this is
great
real
match.
life? It's hard to believe this is real life.
Yeah. They want to go at it again. Why not let them go at it again?
That's the thing whenever you eat Japanese food. You're hungry again.
That's Chinese food, Conrad.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. And so they're going to go at it again. Big headbutt. And Dick to go goes out.
Oh my gosh.
There's a new shirt. Dick to go goes out.
Actually,
Only at lowestrules.com.
I think we do need a new Dick to go shirt.
Hey, I enjoyed this one. Cue the replay.
Hey, we've had 3 matches, and I'm going to tell you this. I enjoyed all 3. Now, voice over this promo here from Stevie Richards. Go ahead.
Okay. I just like to say that I know what Bradshaw did to my friend, and when I get a chance, I'm going to give that motherfucker a receipt, because we all love the Blue Meanie, and I know you picked on him, and I know you made his life miserable in the time you were in the WWE. And I was there. So when I get a chance, and you'll be able to check it out on YouTube, I'm going to hit that motherfucker right in the head with a steel chair. And it's going to be a shooting shot. And I just might have a steel chair waiting for his motherfucking friend, Bruce Prichard, too. And I just may give Tony Schiavone a shot as well. And yes, it's true that Prichard and Conrad sold out to the evil empire. So fuck them. Fuck them both. And I know I'm speaking on all the fans there as well. They're big-time shooters now. They're big-time deals. They're on the WWE network. And what am I? I'm just a Jesus lookalike in a black and white video. You think it was something like that?
No.
Okay. Did you ever see the receipt that the chair shot that Stevie gave Bradshaw? I
did. I can't believe you saw that, because that was way, way, way after you were done with wrestling. How did you see that?
Somebody, I had the Blue Meanie, Brian Heffron, on, and who's a great guy. I had him on my radio show in Atlanta, and someone, I guess the guy I work with, Bo, said, you need to see the chair shot that. Because Blue Meanie apparently had problems with Bradshaw, and he said, you need to see the chair shot that Stevie Richards gave Bradshaw as a receipt for all that stuff. And I did. It was on YouTube. And I went, oh shit, man. He laid it in there. So, and I'm sure there's a whole backstory on that I'm not aware of.
So ECW did like a reunion show once the WWE owned it in 2005, and they get all the guys in the ring together. And JBL, of course, was not a part of ECW, but he's there to sort of be the shit disturber.
Right.
I don't remember if this was 05 or 06, but he's there as like a SmackDown representative just to be a shit disturber. And when he gets in the ring, he punched Meanie in the face for fucking real multiple times. Not, there's like a big melee, but it's supposed to be, wrestling.
Right.
And he fucking took advantage of it in a big way and bloodied him up. And people weren't really sure what to think of that and how it all came together. Well, in typical old school fashion, they just sort of worked it out, and somebody took care of business, and that somebody was Stevie Richards.
Yeah.
So Raven had sort of been one of the cult heroes of ECW and the champion. And so the story is there's going to be a 3-way match later, and the winner is going to get a title shot. And for years, Stevie Richards was positioned as a lackey for Raven. So he's sort of Raven's sidekick, his Robin to Raven's Batman. And tonight he's saying he's going to step out of that shadow. And that's when it went from black and white to all color. And of course they're sort of parodying the NWO here, and you're probably familiar with the BWO beforehand, but I'm curious, how did you first hear about the BWO?
I saw a t-shirt somewhere, and I think I may have seen a t-shirt after we folded business, and I saw BWO, and I thought, actually, you know what? I tell you exactly when I saw it. It had to be maybe the first wrestling autograph signing I went to, which was about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And I went up to New Jersey and did Legends of the Ring or whatever they have up there. And somebody came out. It was Stevie came out with a BWO shirt on, and I read Blue World Order. Didn't know anything about the Blue Meanie back then, but that's when I first experienced the BWO. So now something on fire here, or are they just lighting up another doobie?
The entire audience lit up doobies. So here you go. I need you to give us some commentary on what you're seeing here.
Come on, Francine. Oh, I swear comes Francine. Said on my face, Francine, I'm in love with you. She was dressed. Whoa. Wait, hold on a second here. Thank you very much for the security departing ways here so I could see. Does he just have like a niggle? Oh, she does. She's got a T-back on here. That's all she's got on.
That's how old you are. You call that a T-back.
What are they called now?
Thongs.
That's a thong. Wow.
Have you heard the thong song?
No. Are you going to play that for me too?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, I may have heard the thong song. I'm not sure.
I think you probably have.
Yeah. She's all live there. Francine is.
What's up,
Man, alive.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just waiting.
So do they do some pretty good business with her?
With Francine?
Yeah, so to speak.
They did a lot of business with Francine.
Did they?
Francine's husband is a listener to this show.
Wow.
But he's in on the gag though. He expects you to be Tony.
Okay. Did he wrestle her husband?
No. He's a real human.
And here's one of the, I think one of the more underrated performers. And I say that because I always did like Shane Douglas. Thought he was a good talker, had a great deep bass voice, was very expressive and could do a lot of good things. And, there was that run that he had in WCW. He did some announcing with me, and I liked him a heck of a lot. So there.
Playing a little thong song here for you, Tony.
All right. I've heard this. That's cool, man.
Here comes the chorus. I'm going to need you to do this.
Francine knows how to stand, man. Doesn't you know how to stand in the ring? She knew how to take that left leg and cock it out there to the left.
I love that that's your compliment. Man, didn't Francine know how to stand?
She did. Look at her. Look how she's standing. I always say that beautiful women know how to stand. And she knew how to stand. And I know her husband probably knows that as well.
You know, ECW, when they came back in the WWE, the name of the show, One Night Stand.
No. Okay. So now they roll in a little high spot there with the franchise, Shane Douglas.
who apparently is a champion here. Wow, Francine just bent right over there towards us. And I don't know what champion he is here. He's not the ECW champion. Who's the guy with the neck brace? The guy that franchise put out?
That is Pitbull. But I'm gonna let you guess his real name.
Okay, so this is the footage of Pitbull coming in the ring, I guess.
He just threw down a man
with a halo on. He grabbed a guy with a halo and yanked him down.
And who is this guy with the mask talking, Tony?
I don't know. If I could hear his voice, I probably know who it is. I don't know who it is. Good God. What I guess they're just showing old footage here, right?
They're trying to explain the backstory here.
The backstory. Okay. So this is Pitbull. I don't know who it is. What's his real name?
His real name was Gary Wolf.
Okay. He's passed on, I guess.
Believe so.
Okay.
No, that's the other Pitbull that passed away. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be what? Another Pitbull? Oh yeah, Pitbull 2. Pitbull 2 comes in with a chain.
Sort of like Mr. Wrestling 2.
Yeah, Mr. Wrestling 2. So we got Pitbull, who got his neck wrenched while he was in the halo, and here now is Pitbull 2, and he is taking a fight to Shane Douglas, the franchise, and a big back body drop. And a spin wheel kick off the right side ropes. So Pitbull number 2, can you know the backstory on him? Is
He's still wrestling? Did he come to WCW and I forgot who the fuck he was? As we know, I forget a lot of people.
No, he did not. He passed away in 2003.
Okay.
He died at just 36 years old of a heart attack.
Holy shit.
He was from New Jersey. His real name was, of course, not Pitbull. It was Anthony Durante, and he may or may not have had some issues with the law once upon a time. But yeah, he started wrestling a long time ago, and obviously this was like his big deal. You know, I think at this point he'd probably been wrestling 9 or 10 years, and I think he came through Larry Sharp's school.
So they go down to the mat, and this is maybe the first grab a side headlock and sell it on the mat that we've seen in this entire show. What are we now? We're about an hour and 10 minutes into this or so. Yeah. And they grab a headlock, and as you can see, the fans ain't buying it at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, it really is sort of, I mean, everybody's on their feet, and I guess there's a lot to talk about here. You've got two things going on. Go ahead.
Who's Bubblehead over here on the right, down at ringside?
That's, they escorted Shane Douglas in. Shane Douglas had so much heat here when he shook Gary Wolf in the halo. You see another one on the opposite side over there.
Right. Okay. That was the security I got it now.
They're trying to really keep the fans at bay because they've had like near riots. People were chasing them to their cars and trying to cut tires and run them off the road.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Seriously?
Yeah. People took it very serious because, you know, this is a very local promotion. A lot of these people here live in South Philadelphia and know these guys in real life. And, you know, they knew that he had a real neck injury. He really did legitimately break his neck from a single arm DDT that was delivered by Shane Douglas. And he really did have to have surgery, and he really was in a halo, and it was a legitimate thing. And then Paul Heyman, of course, decided to turn it into an angle, which a lot of promoters would, and it had real fucking heat. So these are smart fans, but they were able to say, okay, this is too fucking far. And they took it serious.
Well, I got to say that if ECW fans say, you've taken it too far, then you've done a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, let's hear it for Shane Douglas and all this stuff, and Paul Heyman for doing that. Oh, did I tell you that I got to see Paul when I was recently at Raw, and talked to him in the backstage area for just a tad.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he didn't seem to want to talk to me, which is fine. Don't know why. I don't know why I would have heat with him. He was nice, but he was distant.
Well, I saw him at the Hall of Fame, and he gave me a lot of time.
Yeah. Well, that's because you and he work for the same company.
Well, that's probably right.
It's fucking sellout. So they actually would chase Shane Douglas out of the arena and try to crash his car and slash his that is unheard of. That's old school shit, man. That's like the story of Ole Anderson getting cut in Greenville, South Carolina.
Right. And that's the level of heat that he had here. And, he was off a run that maybe wasn't as awesome as he and a lot of people in the WWF expected. He was the Dean Douglas character up there. Did you ever see Dean Douglas?
No.
So he was a big deal here in ECW before he left. And he goes up there and they turned him into a teacher of sorts. And they send him out in like a collegiate gown, almost like the Genius. Sure. And he's in the back with a chalkboard, sort of scratching his fingernails on the chalkboard. Everybody a rundown of what their match would have been or could have been and what their grade was. And he called himself, Dean Douglas, and it went over like a turd in a punch bowl, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Right. And, he comes back here and he's sort of anti everything. He's anti WWF. He's anti the Clique, Vince McMahon. He's anti Eric Bischoff. He's anti Dick Flair.
Right.
He's just like sort of the anti-establishment guy, and he's calling himself the franchise because he was he was the first ECW champion. He won the NWA tournament in 94 and then threw down the NWA belt and picked up the ECW belt and called himself the very first ECW champion instead of the next NWA champion. So he's a big part of ECW, and he's working a tag team wrestler here for the television title, but they're making it work just based on the heat.
Sure. Absolutely. And you could just, you can, there's just, am I wrong to say there's Marry Me Francine? How about that? Am I wrong to say that there's a different type of vibe in the crowd here during this match?
No, I think it's an unenviable position to follow 6 high flying Japanese,
right,
almost cruiserweight types who are just high action all the time. And now you've got like a big bruiser type in Pitbull and a more traditional classic, wrestler in Shane Douglas. And I think it's really hard to follow that, especially when you've had, lots of crazy action so far with the tag team match, which was really more of a tornado match. And then you've got Rob Van Dam with the chair, just pulling out all the crazy hot spots. And now that's 6-man. And now we've got more traditional, hey, we're doing heat. And you can see Shane here trying to do the pile driver, and he's trying to tell a story here, which nobody has done so far in this show. It's just been crazy displays of high spots and whatnot, but he's trying to sell that, hey, he's trying to break his neck too.
Right. And, but again, it's like I said, for the first time in the show, we've seen someone snatch a headlock and go to the mat. So this is something completely different. And again, I was just wondering if it was the legitimate heat that Shane Douglas had, or that the fans just are not buying it because they want high spot after high spot, table after chair, after hardcore, after all kinds of bullshit, and they're not getting it here. But the fact is, we're getting a solid match from Shane Douglas.
No, absolutely. If you're a wrestling fan, then you're probably a Shane Douglas fan, because he's very much a traditional wrestler, very good in the ring, a strong promo. He had a good character. He was believable. But, if you were looking for crazy hot spots, he's probably not your guy. And that's not a knock on Shane. It's just not his deal. But in fairness, you probably, I don't know anything about booking wrestling, but I do know that if it's all high paced, high action, high flying, eventually they don't matter. And so you've got to sort of get them up, bring them down, get them up, bring them down. And maybe that's what they're doing here, because if they're going to follow this with, some crazy hardcore stuff from Terry Funk or Sandman, or maybe, some crazy tables and flips with Sabu, you've got to be able to sort of take them up and bring them down.
I'm sorry, I heard you talking, but Francine got on the side of the hard camera and put her back to us, and that took my attention away. You were talking about something, I don't know what it was.
Have you Googled Francine?
No, I have not. I'll let her husband do that.
Well, I don't think he has a problem with you Googling her, but
okay.
I do think if you Googled her, you would find some things you would be interested in, because she did lots of bikini shoots for the wrestling magazines back in the day.
Uh-huh.
It's probably your thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Why? Okay. I'm Googling Francine.
Yeah. Type in Francine ECW and then just start clicking around and roll Tide.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. I am. Go Dogs. Wow. All right.
See, that doesn't work. When you say go Dogs about a woman, that doesn't work. Let's just stick with Roll Tide.
I ain't saying that, man. I ain't motherfucking saying that. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Which one of your family is calling? I heard a Star Wars thing.
No, that's our surprise guest coming up later on.
Oh, there you go. Wait, we have a guest?
Yes, we have a guest.
Oh, okay.
For the first time ever.
Does this mean I'm going away?
No, shit, no. You're the driving force behind all this.
Well, I'll tell you what.
At least I think you are.
If I was going away, let me tell you, I would go to awaytravel.com/happened, and I would use promo code happened at checkout, and I get $20 off a suitcase. Now, I want to mention this is not a paid ad, even though what I sounded like was a paid ad. And here's why I'm throwing this in here, Tony. When we first signed Away as a sponsor on this show, like a month ago, they sent you and I bags. And
yes,
I know
they did.
You did a testimonial on our wedding episode. I had not used it at that point. I did not do it, but I actually had an opportunity to use this thing, WrestleMania weekend. And then this past weekend when I flew to Charlotte. This is my favorite piece of luggage I've ever owned.
It's the real deal, isn't it?
And what's cool about it is this USB charger. Like when I'm at an airport, it almost feels like those, charging stations are at a damn premium. Like you can't get anywhere near them. People are even sitting on the floor up against the wall just to have a little bit of power. And man, I don't have to do that. I can sit wherever I want. I've got my own power right there. This thing holds a charge forever. I've charged my phone on this thing, what feels like 10 times. It's still not dead. I absolutely love it. This is not paid. I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention that, every now and again I run across something and I'm like, fuck, you got to get one of these. Well, you got to get one of these. Awaytravel.com/happened. And they're going to give you $20 off. Not a paid ad. I'm just doing it because I believe in it and it's awesome. And you need to go get one. We like it so much that I've got to go back and I've got to buy one for the person in my life because they want like the girly version. They want the blush color.
Right.
And I want another one because I want the one that's got the pocket on the outside.
Right. So the one that's a little bit bigger. We have the one that's like the carry-on.
We got the small one, but they've got one step up. That's still a carry-on, but it's got the exterior pocket.
Right.
I'm getting that one and I'm getting her the blush one and I'm getting $20 off because I'm using our own code. And I don't think that's illegal. Awaytravel.com/happened and you get $20 off.
Could have broke a leg right there, guys. And this is a very unique visual that we've got. One of the safety rails in the ring. I don't think I've ever seen this before. And then Shane tried to drop him across. Of course, a nut shot is perfectly legal in barely legal. And he tried to drop him across the safety rail, which dropped. And then, of course, he ended up knocking Pitbull 2 on the side. Pitbull 1 tried to do a little run-in while we were talking, and oh, good God. My God. See, that's when you start throwing shit through the air, man, that's dangerous stuff, buddy. Dangerous shit. Because it could bounce, it could hit a fan. Of course, the fans here probably want to be a part of the show anyway, so what does that matter, right? We see a table has been broken already. Yow! Now, that time he wanted to get him straddling, but he hit the knee. Hyperextend a knee, blow out a knee. Jesus Christ. When I see kids at working for us at Major League Wrestling, I tell them all, I say, man, take care of your bodies. I understand that we're after high spots these days. And I understand the pro wrestling that I remember has changed a great deal. But please be careful. And they just do so many crazy things now.
What are people in store for when MLW gets on TV? What are they in store for, Tony?
Well, you're going to see. Did I hear something just now? Something odd. You're going to see. One of the biggest wrestlers ever at 469 pounds, Barrington Hughes. You're going to see the return of, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Colonel Robert Parker.
How about that?
How about he returns with his new tag team, the Dirty Blondes. You're going to see a lot. We call it Conrad. We call it fusion because we have some great luchadors, some guys who came from MMA, and great classic wrestlers. So it's a fusion of all styles. You're going to see Pentagon, Ray Phoenix, a lot of them, great luchadors. And you're going to see my personal favorite, the impresario herself, Selena De La Renta.
What can you tell us about Selena?
That she's absolutely gorgeous, and she has now become a conduit for great wrestlers, great luchadors from south of the border coming into MLW. So, and she's absolutely spectacular.
I like it.
Yeah. So a lot of good things going on. And me working with Rich Bocchini too is pretty cool. Like working with Rich.
Hey, Bruce, you're on the air with Tony and I. Would you like to say hello to everybody at What Happened When?
Hello, Tony and I, and What Happened When? How's everybody doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Man, we're having fun. I'm introducing Tony to ECW for the very first time, and I know you usually have a reaction whenever you hear about ECW.
N32!
He's calling bingo numbers here, Tony. Can you believe this?
Got it. Wow, this must be a shit show to bring Bruce on to have to save us.
Well, you know, you're in the ECW arena. What else do you want?
Okay. Hey, Bruce, congratulations to you and Conrad selling your fucking souls out. You damn sell out to the evil empire.
Selling out left and right, Tony. Everywhere we go, you can best believe it is going to be sizzled is out. That's what we do, man. You just call us Mr. Sold Out.
Okay.
Both of us.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
Either one of us will answer to it.
I think Tony's had enough of our shenanigans. Do you want to talk about our real business on the call, or should I call you when we're done with this Shane Douglas match?
Well, you know, I like shenanigans. I was just going to touch base with you. You can call me when you're done with that Shane Douglas match, and I'll just bend your ear for a sec.
Hey, let me ask you, he's wrestling Pitbull number 2. What's your favorite Pitbull number 2 match?
That time when Pitbull number 1 got mad at Pitbull number 2, and they had that match to see who would be number 3.
I like it. I can't say that Tony likes you, but I know you have a reaction for us.
Fuck Tony Schiavone.
Good.
All right. See you, buddy. So there you go. You never know what's going to happen here on What Happened When. What happened when Bruce Prichard did a run in?
Yeah. How about that? Why don't we get Bischoff to do a run in too?
I mean, you may call him.
Might as well promote his show.
We should. We could call and ask him. Hey, Tony has a question. Do you take it up the ass? Because we're watching ECW here, and Tony said he thought you took it up the ass.
Oh God, 1, 2. Well, apparently Bischoff was hated amongst ECW fans. Would that be safe to say?
Wasn't Bischoff hated amongst all wrestling fans?
Well, of course, he played a very good heel. So yes, I guess he did.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that to shit on him personally. I'm just saying that was his character.
Right. So yeah, but I mean, with ECW fans, it was more of a shoot than with other wrestling fans.
I think everything was more of a shoot.
Okay. So in the midst of all this, Francine just rubbing his hair and getting him back in there, and now she's going to run around the ring. Let's widen out the shot here a little bit. Come on. Well, she disappeared over on the right-hand side.
Is this the same level of production quality we can expect from MLW?
No. I think MLW's got some very good people working for it, including the guy we just talked to. Did you know that?
I did. And I guess
are we allowed to say that?
No, yeah, that's out there.
Okay, Bruce Prichard is one of the producers for MLW.
See, so a lot of people are saying, "Hey, you got sold out." Yeah, we sold out to everybody who will give us money, whether it's Away, WWE, MLW, Mid-Roll, or even our good friends. And I know you're excited to talk about this, Double R Diesel, because these guys want to remind you that no matter if you like to stroke, ram, and come, or be a dirty max, we got the parts to keep you going. All original equipment that's the right fit for your rig. They got over 40 years experience servicing diesel engines, and if you need your fuel injection equipment tested, repaired, or replaced, they got you covered. Most repairs are finished and shipped back within a week, and the website is easy to use. They've got application guides so you can find all the parts that you need, and they offer special pricing for repair shops and fleets. Now remember, it's free shopping on any order or repair over $100 for all of our What Happened to Win listeners, and you get 20% off your total repair order if you mention this ad. Follow them on Instagram and check them out on Facebook at Double R Diesel Inc. That's Double R Diesel INC. And don't forget to contact our man Eric Rash. He is at 970-243-7777. That's Eric Rash, 970-243-7777. He's in Grand Junction, Colorado, but free shipping, man. Get you some of that at doublerDieselinc.com. That's doublerDieselinc.com. And Eric is a big listener of the show. He supports the show. We hope you support him, and we can keep some of our silliness going. So thank you for all the support, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. And I need my injection system clean too. But he probably couldn't help me with mine.
Hey, would you clean Francine's injection system?
I would certainly give it a shot. Here's a cover. Now, what was Shane doing there? Going down in his boot?
It looked like he was about to pull out a foreign object, which Shane Douglas was known for.
Right.
Hiding foreign objects in the trunks, in the boots, some sort of a metal chain. You never know what he's got in there. Look, there it is, a metal chain. Oh, God.
I thought he was trying to take his right foot off like Kerry Von Erich for a moment. But he just dug down in there and he's got the chain. And Pitbull number 2's got a chain. Who the hell is? Oh, it's Chris Candido. He hit him with a chain. And here comes, don't you dare hit that woman. He swiped at her. What the hell's he doing? And now from behind, here's a roll up. The referee rumbles over. 1-2. Got a 2 count.
So the reason Candido saved him is Candido is a member of a faction with Shane Douglas. And the third member of the faction is, well, I won't tell you his name, but you'll see him in a little while.
He's going to happen. It's going to have get involved in the end of this match.
Well,
cool.
Maybe not here, maybe later. Here's my question though. What do you think the name of the faction is with Chris Candido, one other fellow, and Shane Douglas?
Okay. The Butt Boys.
The Butt Boys get the nod here.
Okay.
Shane Douglas retains after a belly to belly suplex, almost a Magnum TA style finish. And you see Chris Candido over there with the streamers from the Japanese match celebrating.
All right. So Francine's up on the apron of the ring, and still your champion is the franchise Shane Douglas. Now the fans are looking. What are they looking for? A run in? What are they looking for?
Here's what's happening. We're hearing a guy do commentary. The guy that we were seeing earlier, the masked man. There's a masked man.
Wait a second. Well, I know who that is.
Who?
That's Ravishing Rick Rude. Simply Ravishing.
It does say Simply Ravishing on the robe.
Well, and that's his robe. And of course he's laying a big one on Francine. But what's he doing with a mask on? Yeah. How about that? Yeah. He got cold cocked though. I'll tell you that. Gee whiz. Ravishing Rick Rude. Take off the mask. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, shit. That's Rick Rude. Oh, it's a swerve. It's Roadblock on dialysis. My God, he's down to 200 pounds. Holy shit. Rude and who's the guy on the left? Roadblock on dialysis, I guess. And he's got Douglas down and the fans are going berserk.
Roadblock on dialysis is actually Primetime Brian Lee, who was the third member of the faction. It was Chris Candido, Shane Douglas, and Primetime Brian Lee, or Bulldozer Brian Lee, whatever you prefer.
Okay.
And he has apparently turned on the group, the Butt Boys.
Okay.
And now he's with Ravishing Rick Rude. So of course, Rude was the guy who we saw earlier in the mask, and it was very obvious just based on his physique and his voice that it was Rick Rude all along. So when Brian Lee came out in the Rick Rude robe, everyone assumes, oh, this is him. And ta-da, one of the security guards who's been ringside this entire time, turns out that in fact was Ravishing Rick Rude. And now we've set up our next angle for what's next in ECW, but Shane Douglas escapes with the ECW title intact. And of course, Francine on his arm. So not a bad night for Mr. Douglas.
Shane Douglas and Francine together. How long did Francine work with Shane? Whoops, hold on a second. You can answer that in a moment, but here is, what about me? What about Raven? What about me? You know, Scotty's one of my favorite guys. He really is. I've said that many times on these podcasts. We had a very good relationship back when he was in WCW, and we've we've kind of connected since then. And wonder how long it took him to get his hair like that.
What do you think he got a perm like that?
God almighty, that looks like one of those loofahs that you wash your back with.
I need to see your loofah if that's what yours looks like.
It is. I mean, mine's all straggly and, one of them little loofah things. And that's what his hair looks like here, a loofah.
One of my friends in high school was my very best wrestling buddy, Clint. And we sort of rib him on the other show, and we say Clint from Hershey. But he absolutely loved Raven. It was his favorite character in wrestling. And he thought he has a tattoo, Raven does, that says "Rust never sleeps." And he thought that was the fucking coolest tattoo ever.
Wow.
Speaking of tattoos, I feel like it's time that we bring this up again. You promised around Thanksgiving that you were going to go to Luke Gallows and you were going to get a tattoo, and yet you have not done it.
Yeah. Well, I saw Luke at Raw.
And?
My God, there's Fonzie. And who's that underneath there?
I'm going to let you guess who it is.
Oh, I know. I can see who it is on his hat. It's Taz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's he saying here, brother?
Okay. Is he talking about Dave Silva?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Dave Silva, I have something I have to say to you. You a fat motherfucker. You a fat, greasy motherfucker. You may be talented. And Schiavone, I know, is fat.
Tag me in.
Conrad, I know, is fat.
Dave Silva, brother, I put you in this podcast game. I put you on the map, brother. And now you take your skills to that sellout Bruce Prichard. That fucking stooge, Bruce Prichard. Just like I joked out Bam Bam Bigelow and Paul Rollins. Dave Silva. I'm going to tap you out, brother. Now you're doing those graphics for Tony Schiavone. You started with me. You make my graphics, motherfucker. You do it for free. Because if you don't, I'll choke you out like Chris Jericho, brother.
If I could get my hands around your fat ass, that is. So was Fozzie a manager here?
Yeah, I know you know him as a referee, but he was a manager here, and his gimmick is he would blow a whistle. And you're not going to have to hear that. Not like a rape whistle like Klondike Bill's wife had, like a different kind of whistle. But he still had a whistle, and he just blew it nonstop. And that was his gimmick here. Now, Taz, I should tell you, is like the trainer of the ECW school here, and ECW original, did a lot of stuff behind the scenes, as did, as you called him, Bubby and Tommy Dreamer. So those guys were sort of behind the scenes, the movers and the shakers. Taz would also help design some of the t-shirts, run the school. Tommy Dreamer would help run the locker room, put together shows. Bubba Ray would sort of book the buildings and handle some of the communication with the towns. So it was a team effort here, very much a family effort here. And the match we're about to see with Taz is the real main event. And a lot of people would say of 1997, because this has been an angle that has been built forever with him and Sabu. And up to this point, in classic old school wrestling fashion, they've never touched, Tony. And I know you would appreciate that. You're not kidding. Great anticipation. Great way to build it. Let me go back and ask you a question as Gary Caffetta will do the ring announcing here. They actually ran towns. They didn't didn't run the EC bingo hall. That's
ECW
right.
bingo
That's
hall.
right. That's a misconception. They only ran the show once a month here at the ECW arena. And this is normally where they did TV. So a lot of times it looked like this is the only building they ran, but they were running shows every weekend. And where would they run? Philadelphia area? Is that it? They would run a lot in the Northeast. You'd see shows in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, things like that. But obviously all over Philadelphia and whatnot. But then eventually they started to branch out and come down south. And they did a lot of shots in Florida. And then they started to go everywhere. They were hitting Chicago. They'd hit Detroit. They came to Alabama. I saw them multiple times in Birmingham. I saw them in Chattanooga. They were in pay-per-views in Atlanta, actually in Marietta at the Cobb County Convention Center.
Yeah.
I mean, so they were doing shows all over, but Pittsburgh, Queens, Philadelphia, those were sort of the staples.
Taz looks pretty ripped here, man. He looks pretty good.
Taz in phenomenal shape. One of my favorite wrestlers. I absolutely love Taz in ECW. The Taz character that we got towards the end of the WWE, but when he debuted in the WWE, phenomenal. And it was sort of fun. You see the giant sign in the background there that says Taz fears me, because he would actually go to Raw and carry a sign around the crowd just to stir people up about his feud with Sabu. And this is more than just a wrestling on camera feud. These guys behind the scenes were very competitive with each other, and neither one of them wants to lose. This is very much an era where wins and losses still matter. And Sabu has been the top independent draw for years and years. And now Taz is trying to be the man here in ECW, and they're finally going to touch for the very first time. And this is as main event gets for ECW. Now the world title's not on the line. This is a grudge match. But still, the anticipation here, Tony, I can't begin to describe, because if you're an ECW fan, they never touched. And a lot of times there were teases, the lights would go off and then they'd come back on and the other one would be in the ring, but they never touched.
Right now, Taz is doing what we used to call a Wahoo McDaniel, Conrad, and that is just standing in the corner, big feud, didn't matter. He was real cool. He let the other guy jump around the ring and make a fool of himself, and Wahoo would just stand there as if nothing was happening until the bell rang. So I appreciate that. I kind of did a little jab at our buddy Dave Silva, because I had heard that he worked with Taz for a little bit, and I guess that's true, right?
Yeah, it's kind of fun, man. In a weird way, Taz is responsible for Dave Silva being in our life, because Dave Silva was a big caller to the Taz show in the very early days, the infancy, if you will, of the Taz show. And this is before he was with CBS Radio and all that. I mean, he was still doing it for Play.it, but he wasn't doing a sports talk radio show at the time that was syndicated and blah, blah, blah. So he was a big caller, and Dave would actually do funny gimmicks, and he would call in as different characters, and he would do funny promo videos, and he did graphics. And then somewhere along the way, he just randomly, because anybody can DM me on Twitter, he DM'd me art for, I think, my Brian Pillman episode with Bruce. And I thought, man, this is the fucking coolest thing ever. And then he did one for Vader, and he did one for Sonny. And then I was like, man, can you be like my official graphics guy and do this all the time? And I think Taz maybe got upset that he was doing stuff with other podcasts and felt like, hey, Dave belongs to me. You can't do this. He didn't say that to me. Taz didn't, but I think he sort of put Dave in a spot where he had to pick. And I guess there was some sort of falling out. I'm not exactly sure what happened. It's obviously a sore subject for both guys, but, hey, Taz's loss is our gain. Thank you, Taz, because Dave Silva has been a major contributor to what we're doing here.
Yeah, Dave's the man. We love Dave, and I'm glad I found it was a sore spot, and that means I'm going to take more advantage of it as I go along next time I say Silva, as I've been known to do.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, doing the Taz promo where I'm talking about just choking out Dave Silva. It'll make Dave and all of our friends laugh, and really that's the metric we use here on the show. If our friends are going to laugh, maybe other people will too.
Couple of pretty good standing switches, and you talked about the anticipation of this match, this being a real main event. Fans right now look like they don't know what to expect in this thing, Conrad.
Well, I think a lot of people expected like a brawl through the crowd. If this is a quote unquote ECW grudge match, then they probably expect a lot of blood and a brawl through the crowd, through the bleachers, through the stands. And that's not what they're getting here. They're getting a wrestling match. And so I'm sure some of the people are like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this? We're doing submission moves instead of, but at the same time, it is a good match. Like, this is one of those matches where you either really like it or you really don't like it, because I think so many people just expected just major bloodletting from the beginning. But I was just excited to see them fucking touch and really test each other, because it feels like at times in here, there's some real animosity, and that's what I want you to do. Like, make me believe, like Taz sort of goading him into here, do a single leg. And now look at these forearms, man.
Well, let's hear for both of these guys, because if you've got this great grudge match, you probably should, with the anticipation, build up to it, right?
Absolutely.
Not just start with the ass kicking and the chair throwing and the table shots right out of the gate. Build up to it, and these guys are doing just that. And you're right. I don't know if these really are stiff, but they look stiff,
real.
don't they? These blows.
It looks real as shit to me. One of the things I wanted to show you whenever they get another shot sort of crossways here is you see a series of doors. That was actually the entrance to the building. Like that's where you came in and left. And that was right at the corner of Swanson and Rittner. And they've got like a little crow, what they call a crow's nest above it. And you see Sabu bleeding there from those punches. Right. So that answers our question.
Yeah.
Are they worked or not?
Right. Well, they're laying them in, and they knew going into this, that's what they would do.
Yeah. Wow. We've got to go back and watch some of this stuff that Sabu has done. Sabu did a barbed wire match later this year in 1997 against Terry Funk. They take down the ropes. They put up the barbed wire, and you guys used to do that a little bit at Jim Crockett Promotions, right?
Well, they used to wrap barbed wire around the ropes. They didn't take down the ropes.
Well, so this becomes a no rope barbed wire match where instead of these traditional wrestling ropes, it's just strands of barbed wire. And they got so tangled up that they had to that somebody had to come out and cut them out so they could move. But along the way, Sabu tore his bicep. Completely, to where the muscle's hanging out. And he sticks it back in himself and tapes it up. And then in the back, they just super glued it and he kept going.
Wow. That's tough motherfucker right there. Now the ECW fans are getting their shit.
You can see there's a paint line on the wall in the background. That was not always painted, but when they knew they were coming to pay-per-view, they wanted to go ahead and try to make it look as good as they could. So they painted, but you can see where they stopped painting. And, Sabu there doing one of those, triple jump moonsault type moves. Of course, this is a springboard into the crowd, but that's what he was really known for at the time is let's get a running start, jump onto a chair, onto the rope, and then either backwards or into the crowd. And the crowd goes nuts here. I really wish that every wrestling fan could sort of go back and sit in the ECW arena and see it. Even people who sort of didn't get it, like you and Bruce Prichard. I think if you went and you were a part of the crowd and the music was there and it was just it was an experience, man. It was awesome.
Yeah. I get all that. I don't necessarily get the fans mugging to the camera here, but fans mug to the camera in every sport. So what the hell is this? Right. And Fonzie up on top. I don't know what he was yanking on the ropes about, but that ECF&W sign, our shirt, very, very well known all around.
I think we need a WHF&W shirt.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
What happened fucking when?
Yeah, Paul Heyman would probably come after my ass, knowing Paul.
No, he wouldn't even speak to you, remember?
That's right. How you doing? Hey, good to see you. Hey, fine. Paul, you doing fine? Yeah, I'm doing good. How you doing? Good. All right, Paul, I'm going to go over and take a shit. I'll talk to you in a minute. Basically what it was. So now you say that the bicep, was this before or after the bicep tore up?
Oh, this is before. That's going to happen in August. We're in April.
Okay. All right. Because I see he's got his shoulder heavily taped on the left side there. I didn't know if that was keeping a bicep in or not. My God. Now, what are the guys with the T's on about here? The T on their shirt. Are they like Tennessee volunteer recruits?
They're from the Taz dojo. So they're all training to be wrestlers, and he calls it his dojo.
Hmm.
You're not getting this match too much, are you?
No, but I'm I did get to see a little bit of Sabu, but not that much of it. But I'm just kind of intrigued about what I'm seeing here. I really am. I'm just I'm kind of thinking that it's a shoot fight, but then again, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, if I good God, look at this. If I got a Woody because of Steve Regal and Fit Finley back in Uncensored 96, I guess this would give me a Woody too.
I'd really rather not talk about your Woody. If we could shift gears, I'd like to talk about Painted Gypsy Tattoo, which is at 1140 Nortec Drive in Conyers, Georgia, which isn't that far from you. And, they've got 5-star reviews, about 30 of them on Google. So apparently Luke Gallows knows a thing or two about putting ink on people.
All right, hold on a second. I talked to Luke at Raw, and Rook said, when you coming down, Ninja? And I said, Rook, I'm going down and get tattoo on my backside. It's an old commentary ninja. No, and he said, when are you coming down and getting the tattoo? I want you to come down. And I said, I'm going to do it. I really am, and we're going to videotape it. And we're going to put it on our Facebook page, WHW Monday. And then the Big L stepped in. The Big L stepped in. LoisRules.com, and she said, "You're not getting a damn tattoo."
Yeah, you are. Let's talk about this. If you get a tattoo on your ass, when would Lois ever see it?
Well, maybe one day when I have hemorrhoid problems, she has to wipe my ass for me.
All right, let's put it on the Peter meat. That way it's safe. It'll be your secret.
No. I told her, she said, well, I did tell you, you've heard this joke before. I did tell the old joke. She said, if you get a tattoo, what would you get? I said, I would get a tattoo of a $20 bill on my penis. She said, why? I said, because I want to see how long it would take for you to blow $20. But thank you very much. I'll be here all night. And she laughed at that, knowing that.
Here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't asked a lot of you here, Tony.
What?
This has been all fun and games. We're buying the fucking shirts. We're paying for the weddings. We got our away bags at awaytravel.com/happened. You're getting this fucking tattoo.
All right. I'm getting the tattoo. And I want our listeners to go on our Twitter feed and tell me what tattoo they think I should get.
I like
maybe Conrad's face. Maybe Lois Rules. Maybe hashtag NFLTG. That's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe the one tattoo that I wanted to get years ago, which was the Kiss tattoo. And Vince Russo and I said we were going to do it in Detroit, and we never did. I don't know, AC/DC, possibly. But anyway, maybe Dave Silva's likeness with a sombrero. I don't know.
Well,
let us know on Twitter.
Let me just back up and say, if Lois has an issue with this executive decision I've made, what?
I make the rules in my fucking house.
You just said I can't. My wife won't let me, so I don't want to hear that shit now.
All right.
But here's what I'm saying. If she has an issue, then you tell her to climb her ass up in the attic and get my goddamn 6-man tag belt. And then I'll let you get away with it being a henna tattoo, which means you only have it for a little while. I'll tell you this. I would vote for fuck baseball, because baseball is cramping our style this year, because you and I, it's April. We could have had 3 live shows by now. Yeah. You got a fucking baseball game every time I turn around. You're like, Sid Vicious was known for being unreliable in wrestling and never reaching his full potential because of softball. You're now the Sid Vicious of wrestling podcasts.
And especially when I went online, I don't know where I found it, and I saw that you and Bruce Prichard did your fucking live show, and you had Eric Bischoff on.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I said, what about me?
Well, you didn't come. It was in fucking New York. You weren't going.
I got a baseball game. I got a baseball game.
I've been usurped by Bischoff once again.
I got a football game.
Hey, good luck with him in his podcast. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. You'll do a great job with him.
It'll be fun for one of us. I'm going to roast his ass.
Are you really?
Because here's the difference. Like, you get to say, it was the booking committee, and I can't really press,
Right. Because
but with him, like, what's that going to sound? I'm going to be screaming, hollering, fussing, cussing. And if you want to go back and tell the 1997 version of me, Conrad,
it
won't be that long. And one day you'll be cussing at this guy, and that guy will have to take it.
2 things to ask Bischoff. Okay.
Okay.
You ready? All right. And you don't have to do this right out of the gate.
If you're going to ask the one thing, I'm not talking about the one thing.
No.
Okay. That's the only thing I've never even brought up, and I'm not going to, because it's just not cool.
No, I understand that. I've made a lot of stupid remarks about that. It's just being silly.
No, that's fine here, but I'm just saying over there, people are going to be at my ass, and they ask me questions about it all the time. It's like, dude, come on. It's the one thing you don't want to talk about. And I know that without ever even asking.
Oh, sure. I understand. Holy shit.
How about that? ECW.
How about that?
ECW. So Taz and Sabu finally go through a table. Usually it's Sabu putting people through a table. Not today. Nay. Sabu takes a spill between a table that was set up between the guardrail and the ring apron. You know, these days, this doesn't feel like that big of a deal, but 21 years ago, table spots were a fucking big deal, man.
Right, they were. You're damn right. And this was one that was kind of a counter move where he was going to get DDT'd on it, and then he shot Sabu down. Okay, here's the things you asked Bischoff. Number one,
okay,
was it true that Craig Leathers and Net Yoder tried to take over the business?
And were they getting it on?
Well, I don't know if he knows that. And number two, tell me the story about Tony Schiavone sitting in your office crying like a baby.
You cried like a baby in his office?
Sure did.
Was it when you found out Lois was pregnant with twins?
No, she had twins long before I knew Eric Bischoff.
Is that when you realized Vince won't take me back?
I cried a long time before that, before I knew Eric Bischoff about that.
The divorce attorney said getting divorced would be too tough. You just need to suck it up.
And I'm still crying about that today.
Well, listen, don't make us wait for 83 weeks.
No, you need to listen to 83 weeks and tell me about it. So.
Well, we're putting our very first poll up at 83 weeks. We're going to let the listeners pick what they want to hear. And I picked some pretty controversial topics because I want to hold his feet to the fire. I think people are wanting like softball shit. They want us to talk about like the first Nitro. And I'm like, nah, I need some controversy.
Right.
Hey, what do you think is going to be his reaction when I mention Hulk Hogan's thermos to him for the first time?
He's probably going to ignore it and try to go on to the next thing. As if he didn't say it.
I wonder if he even gets the reference.
I don't know. You know, I mean, I don't know if he's as good as with dick jokes as we are here.
Listen, you're a dick joke ninja. So I don't think that there's, here's what's great.
Yeah, my life's become a fucking dick joke.
It is. But
my life's become a dick joke.
It has.
My God, thank you, Conrad, for doing that. How about that move by Sabu? Jesus.
I love that you call him Sabu. So Sabu just did a top rope leg drop 3/4 across the ring. I mean, all the way at the other end.
Holy
unbelievable athleticism here. A little different than his uncle. Those little Sheik matches, they were bloody, but they weren't like this, were they?
No, they weren't like this at all. The Sheik just kind of grabbed you and cut you. That's about all he did.
Can you imagine? Obviously we're having fun with the match here, but Sabu, I think, is really like one of the unsung heroes of wrestling because he was such an influencer and had such a great influence in wrestling. But maybe never really got the due, or maybe he did in props, but probably not in money. Like he didn't have like the top WWE money years. I mean, I know that's not something we talk about here on the show, but this dude wasn't making millions of dollars a year. He just really enjoyed wrestling and wanted to do it at a high level and make the fans happy. But maybe he had some different ways about going about his business. But can you imagine after all the bumps that dude's taken, man, it's gotta be tough to get around in 2018.
Hey, it did. I think back to the story when I told you when I met and talked to Cactus Jack 2 years ago at WrestleMania in Orlando, and he could hardly walk. And the stuff that he did, and what do you think about Sabu?
Hey, you know what? I forgot to mention this to you. Cactus Jack is going to be right down the road from me day after tomorrow, Wednesday night at Stand Up Live, the comedy club here in Huntsville. And a great friend of the show, Cassio Kidd, and I are going to check him out. You ought to ride over.
And get a baseball game.
Yeah, I know. Hey, this is worth mentioning. What are you doing Sunday night?
Sunday night, I'm free.
What about I take you to see Andrew Dice Clay?
Really?
Andrew Dice Clay is going to be like a mile from my house.
He found Alabama?
In Huntsville, Alabama.
Holy shit.
And I figure you could come over. We could do a podcast this coming week on Sunday night. And we could go ahead and tape it up there and then ease down the mountain, see Andrew Dice Clay. I feel like since your life's one big dick joke, it would be great.
I'd love to see it. That'd be great. Boy, has his career gone to shit if he's working in Huntsville, Alabama. Yikes.
Here's what's great. You're going to be in Huntsville, Alabama that night.
Yeah.
You're shitting on Huntsville, a town you're in for work. Boy, his career's gone to shit. I just realized I said your life is one big dick joke. I probably should have said your life is one little dick joke. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, well, tell Mick Foley I said hello. I hope he puts plenty of butts in the seats coming up on Wednesday night.
You should really find a way out of that baseball game because that would be a moment to see Tony Schiavone, but Mr. Butts in the seats with Mick Foley. The crowd would go banana.
They'd go mild on that.
And there it is, the Taz mission, the Casa Hajime, brother.
Oh man, he's showing us his thermos right now, man.
Oh my God. Taz has choked out Sabu clean in the middle.
Yeah.
And Fonzie is not going nuts. Normally he's running around going ape shit, blowing the whistle. And look at the blood flowing out of Sabu's nose there. Clearly a broken nose from those super stiff forearms. The crowd has just seen a war. Lots of grappling, lots of stiff punches, table shots, lots of stuff going on here. The medics are coming out now.
Oh, they really got medics to this place? Please. And Sabu hops right up. Wow. A lot of drama in this match. And I know in the midst of all my dick jokes, I'm not doing it justice. I realize that.
Taz is talking. Tell us what he's saying here, Tony.
Oh, okay. You hit me in the head of my dick. Let me say a few things about you, Sabu. Motherfucker. See, I gotta hold on to my dick. But you're a hell of a man. And let me say that, my dick is hurting badly. Schiavone and Conrad Thompson have done nothing but shit on a great match and a main event here at ECW is barely legal. They have not done it justice. But apparently he is singing the praises here of Sabu, isn't he?
I love that you call him Sabu, but yes, we'll go with, you fought me and you did it with valor.
Because they're clapping. Notice because they're clapping. Yeah, they're really into this.
I've got respect for you, brother. And all this.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing a great job putting Sabu over. I know it's Sabu. I understand that. I know you are. Yeah.
So, hey, you got any good Fonzie stories? I feel like Fonzie is, as Bruce Prichard would say, a gimmick and a half.
Yeah, the only Fonzie story I know that he was a pretty hardworking kid. I always appreciate the way he busted his ass as a referee, and I think we saw part of it right here when he was doing the promo, when he was coming in and we were shaking the ropes. So I liked Fonzie a lot.
Sabu at this point has never spoken. This is worth mentioning. He doesn't do promos. He's just completely silent. But you see him talking to Taz here. But as far as on mic, never anything. Shaking hands and a hug, and look at the crowd in response. Everybody's clapping. Everybody's into it.
Oh my God, Rob Van Dam. You fucked up. You fucked up. They didn't chant that here.
No.
What the fuck is he doing in here? Oh, so we start a new program now. So, it'll be Sabu and Rob Van Dam. And watch out. Look at Taz.
Actually, I guess this is where it would be helpful for me to tell you. Rob Van Dam was actually Sabu's tag team partner.
Okay. Oh, how about this? How about this little switcheroo? And now the fans are going fucking nuts. They love the heat. They absolutely love the heat. And this is what EC fucking W is about. Right? They're going to get, where does Sabu go? Is he going to get a table? He'll get a chair? Is he going, you're damn straight, buddy. We're going to fucking ring that motherfucker's bell. Whoa.
Arabian face buster.
Woo. Yeah, baby.
What do you think Klondike Bill would do if somebody was to say, or some lady was to say, hey, Klondike, give me the Arabian face buster. What do you reckon he thought that was?
As long as it smelled like a camel's ass, he'd be okay. Whoa, Sabu screwed that one up. Do it again. Hell yeah, do it again. God, it's one eating. Fuck. How's this guy not dead? How in 2018 is Sabu not fucking dead? Good God.
Can you imagine how many fucking tables he's broken in his career?
God, now he's choking him out. Reverse naked chokehold. It's what they call that, I guess, in MMA. Jeez. Oh, my mind is wondering here, and when you get this age, you'll know too. Another star that we have in Major League Wrestling is MVP, who of course wrestled in the WWE for a little bit. Good guy, man.
Great guy.
Yeah, Low Key's another one. Good guy. And of course Jimmy Havoc. Some other guys you'll see, but
I haven't met Jimmy Havoc yet. But as a, you know, I don't know, like 2004. I thought Low Key was going to be like the biggest star in the history of wrestling. I was a huge Low Key fan, and I know he's had. Look at what's going on here now. All of a sudden, Fonzie taking off the orange, and underneath, he's got a Team Taz shirt on.
Right.
What's happening here?
What is Fonzie turning on Team Taz, or does Fonzie want a piece of Sabu? What the fuck, boy? Fonzie getting right in this shit now, buddy.
Oh, he took his shirt off, and underneath, it's a fucking Sabu shirt.
Oh, that two-faced, no good Floridian motherfucker. Fuck.
When you think of Florida residents, don't you think of Bill Alfonso?
Yeah, I do.
Like, to me, if you live in like North Florida, you look like Bill Alfonso.
No, I don't think so.
No, everybody I know who lives in North Florida looks like Bill Alfonso or a relative of Bill Alfonso.
Okay. Well, you know what they say, in Florida, the more north you go, the more southern you get. And Bill looks more like he would be from the Miami area to me, wouldn't he? Kind of a Hispanic. Okay.
You know what I just realized?
But
Bill Alfonso is like a poor man's Matthew McConaughey. I could see him, instead of blowing the whistle, going, all right, all right, all right. Except instead of for like a new Lincoln, it would be like for a buy here, pay here lot or something.
You're right. Or a Fiat.
No, those are actually pretty good.
Oh, Fiats are?
Yeah, I've got a buddy who has one. I mean, I'd have to wear it as a shirt, but he likes it.
Okay.
So there you go. You've seen one of the biggest grudge matches in wrestling history, Taz versus Sabu. Taz gets the clean win, but they do a good job of still making sure that Sabu has the heat after. Don't you agree?
Yeah. And I think that's very important. Now, was this the blow off of the angle?
Well, yeah. I mean, this was the payoff, but as you might imagine, Taz is going to be looking for revenge against his old manager here.
All right. So we put the heat on the manager, which, if you ask me, is the wrong thing to do. But they put the heat on the manager, and what does the back of his shirt say?
Homicidal, genocidal, suicidal, Sabu.
Wow.
Look,
it's time for our only extreme replay of the night. And let's take a look at it one more time. Sabu with an elbow on the back of Taz, and he will crawl up on the middle rope, hooking on. He's going to bring him down on a DDT. Oh, no, it's Sabu across the table. Oh, counter move by Taz. And let's take a look, some of the action one more time. Sabu with the Hura Konrana, sending Taz down. And then Taz with the submission hold gets the win over Sabu. They shake hands, and then the shit's on. It's almost like a Cobra Clutch slam here. Wow, over the top.
That's a Tazplex, brother.
Is that what that is? A Tazplex?
Every suplex he throws is a Tazplex. T-bone Tazplex, overhead Tazplex, arm in Tazplex.
Yeah.
Trucking.com Tazplex.
Yeah. And then, of course, the heat afterwards as Taz was shaking hands with Sabu. ECW is hardcore, baby. And now we go up to Joey Styles. Oh, my God. And what's he going to do here? You know, Joey had this aura about him, don't you think? I mean, it was the aura that represented ECW. Am I right? He would kind of had a cocky, confident attitude, which is, I guess, if you put someone to do your play-by-play, that's the way it should be in ECW, right?
But, you know, the buttoned up, clean shaven, suit and tie, it feels like he's like a younger version of Gordon Soley a little bit. He's trying to present it as a legitimate sport. He's not out there like you guys are in fucking biker gear.
Oh, okay. Throw that shit in my face.
So here we go. Speaking of shit in the face, are you more of a Beulah guy or a Francine guy?
I think I'm more of a Francine guy. Is this like Miss McGillicuddy?
Yeah, this is Beulah McGillicuddy.
Okay, all right. I'd heard. Wow, she's looking all live. Isn't it funny that I knew the women's names and I didn't know the guys' names?
Spent a lot of time in the makeup chair, brother. A lot of time in the makeup chair.
And we don't even have makeup at MLW yet. Get that.
But when you do, I bet you'll have your own chair.
I will. I'll hang out in there with the ladies all day. So Tommy Dreamer and Beulah will be doing the commentary on this. Now, if I got this right, if I read this right now, and I did looked it up on the interweb. If I got this right, they're going to have a 3-way, and then the winner will face Raven that night, same night, right?
Right after for the world title.
Right. All right. So this should be pretty cool because we're going to have Stevie Richards, Sandman, and 85-year-old Terry Funk. Wow. Going to be some blood flowing in this one, buddy. And here comes the Blue World Order. Look at the fucking meanie, buddy. Man.
Let me just tell you,
look at the fucking meanie.
I love him. If I were a wrestler, I would be Blue Meanie. I mean, look at this.
Yes, sir. And then there's the guy looks like the Macho Man, Randy Savage, trying to do a Hulk pose.
What's his name, by the way? I'll let you name him.
I don't know. I don't know any of those guys' names.
Name him, fucker.
Okay. Blue Savage. Blue Savage. That's his name.
So the guy dressed up like Hulk Hogan is Blue Savage.
Blue Savage. Okay. In green is Mike Jones.
Okay. We'll go with that. Who?
Okay. And the kid with the video camera looks like, wow, he looks like he's trying to be the 1, 2, 3 kid, but let's just call him the 1 kid because he's not big enough to have a 2 and a 3.
God damn it.
Okay. The 1 kid, Blue Savage, the Blue Meanie, as we know, Stevie Richards, and the green, Mike Jones. That's your B World Order.
B World Order. I don't know why that got me, but it did. Your B World Order.
B World Order.
Oh my God.
God.
B.
I saw Blue Meanie last summer at the autograph sign I did at the ECW arena, and got to talk to him for a little bit. And he's obviously lost some weight, but he had a pretty good run, didn't he, for a gimmick? Here he is. Take my hand, crush the beer can on my head. Da 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 da. Enter night. Da 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 da. Dave Day. I don't know the word to that song. Let's see.
It's better if you just make them up.
Okay. Okay.
Is this the coolest entrance in the history of wrestling, in your opinion?
Yes, I mean, he was a one cool motherfucker, buddy. Coming in smoking a cigarette, kendo stick. There you go. Open the beer with one fucking hand.
Let me just tell you.
Oh man.
When I get you and Lois over to the Conradison this summer for a pool party, we're fucking opening beers like that in the pool together.
Boom, 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 boom. Hell yeah, buddy. And then as Bruce Prichard says, and then the bell rang.
Yeah. I knew you were going with that.
Right.
I knew where you were going with that.
Oh God, man.
Let's do some questions here on Twitter. This is going to be a pretty long match, a good match. There's going to be a couple of high spots in here I need you to see, but let's get to it. AJ wants to know, what was the talk, if any, in the WCW locker room before and after the pay-per-view?
In the WCW locker room before and after any pay-per-view?
Yep.
Okay. Before the pay-per-view, there was always a lot of stress and a lot of tension. And I think that you may want to hit Eric up on this when you talk to him on your podcast, that, I'm not so necessarily say he put a lot of pressure on us. I guess just being number one for all those years put a lot of pressure on us and a lot of stress. And maybe he ramped it up a little bit by his demeanor. But afterwards, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, because I ran out of the building. And when I say I don't know, I legitimately don't know. I didn't go around, pat everybody on the back, say, "Oh, great job, great match, man, you really tore it up." I didn't do that shit. I left. We ran out of the building. Me and Heenan and Tanay and then, of course, Lee Marshall's with us and Gene Okerlund. We ran because we didn't give a fuck. It was over. What could you do? And most of the guys left anyway after their match.
Dean Martin wants to know, how Roll Tide was Francine?
In this match, she was fucking go dogs.
Davenport wants to know, why are you covering this show?
Because my life's become a dick joke.
Chad wants to know, why is this on a WCW podcast?
Well, I think I just answered that, because my life's become a dick joke.
Hendricks wants to know, has Tony ever chanted ECW? If so, when, where, and why?
I chanted it tonight during the show. That's the only time I've ever done it.
Bug wants to know, do you like the ECW version of Stevie Richards, or do you prefer dancing Stevie Richards that you got in
I hate to say it, I like this version.
Of course.
Yeah. I do.
Jeremy wants to know, can you do a Joel Gertner style promo? Have you ever seen Joel? This is the guy you referred to earlier as Dave Penzer sucking on an air hose.
Uh-huh.
Well, he would do promos where he would start and he would go, well, it is I, the quintessential stud muffin. And he would like do a little silly limerick about himself. Like, Joel, while you were playing on your computer, I took your girlfriend and I screwed her, Gertner. So I'm going to need you to study some Joel Gertner promos and throw us one on Facebook later this week. Can you do that?
Sure.
Okay. So if you'd like to see Tony do a little Joel Gertner action, we're going to do it, on Facebook. And Joel's listening, by the way. So thanks for listening, Joel.
Yeah. Thanks, Joel. And hopefully I will honor your memory.
Michael wants to know, your memory, like he's dead. Tommy Young faced Klondike Bill on this card. What kind of match stip would they have had, and how would Tony call the match?
Okay. The match stip would have been the first person whose joint flies out of the tights. The other person would have to yank on it, and he would be the winner.
Apparently, Tom believes Nitro was in Philadelphia the next day, and he wants to know if this was a plan to sort of sabotage the event.
No, it was not. It was just a case where we found it was Gary Juster found it a good time to run Philadelphia.
You see what Stevie Richards is wearing here with the cutoff jeans and the crop top.
Yeah, look, can I interrupt you here? Not everything
do.
was a fucking sabotage. Okay. Now, maybe a lot of things that Vince did back then was sabotage, but not everything was sabotage.
Great question on Twitter here. Has Tony ever asked Lois to dress like Dancing Stevie at home, or vice versa?
No, I haven't, but you mean like this right now?
Yeah. What Stevie is wearing right now.
No, but that's not a bad idea. Wouldn't have been a great idea back in 81.
Yeah, maybe not now. Vince wants to know, what's Tony's opinion on Joey Styles?
You know what? I never heard Joey Styles call a match. I've only listened to clips of Joey Styles on YouTube. I listened to him saying, "Oh my God." And that's why I used that a couple of times here. I never heard him call a match. So I don't know. Just know by meeting him, he was a great guy. Really, really was.
Sean wants to know, who from this show would have been a star in Jim Crockett Promotions back in the 80s? Not named Terry Funk, of course.
Yeah. I think either Sabu or Taz would have had a chance.
I think Taz. I think Shane Douglas.
Yeah. Shane Douglas.
I think Lance Storm could have done well. I'll tell you, I know that a lot of people are going to take issue with this, but if Jimmy Valiant could get over with his gimmick and Jim Crockett, I got to think Sandman could too.
Yeah. This pouring beer down the throat, though, wouldn't have gotten over back in the 80s with the Crockett's.
You don't think?
I mean,
Flair did this every night in the fucking bar.
Well, I know he did, but he didn't do it on TV for crying out loud.
Well, he wouldn't pull out his Peter, so that would be better.
Every time he bonks himself in the head with a beer can, I mean, just like, oh.
Hey, let me tell you, this is, we're way, way, way off track here. Have you heard about this show on Netflix called Wild Wild Country that's gotten really popular over the last month or so?
No.
So it's a 6-part documentary, and I'm going to murder the dude's name, but it's about the Bhagwan and the Rajneeshis out in Oregon in like the early 80s. Are you in the loop on this?
No.
It's like an Indian,
it's not a cult out there?
That's right. Like an Indian cult leader.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I watched it over the weekend with my person and I said, can you fucking believe that all of this happened and we had no idea? And so anyway, the dude winds up getting arrested in Charlotte, hashtag spoiler. And I joked before I knew that, I was like, listen, your dad's old enough to know about this. We got to ask your dad about this, because this would have been something he would have heard about. And when they arrested him in Charlotte, I'm like, oh, definitely. In Charlotte in 85, your dad knew about this. And she said, he probably went out there and showed him his dick. That's when I was like, I'm so glad we're getting married. This is the best thing ever. Like,
that's because your father-in-law's dick has become a family heirloom.
Well,
it has.
Cat bath available now at lowestrules.com.
His dick has become a family heirloom, and not many families can say that. As a matter of fact, I would venture to say no families can say that.
One of my very best friends who passed away this last year, the first time he met Rick over at the house in 2014 or something, he was so enamored with Rick growing up a big wrestling fan. The first thing he says is, Ric Flair, they should bronze your dick. And at the time I didn't realize that you and I were going to do a podcast together and that about 12% of the show would be about Ric Flair's penis.
Well, bronze your dick. I'll guarantee if they'd ever bronzed his dick, it'd be on your mantelpiece with all the other items you have.
No, I actually don't want that. You know, somebody once said, you don't know Ric Flair unless you've seen him naked. And I'm happy to say I don't really know Ric Flair.
Well, get ready.
I'd rather not. Thanks.
Get ready. Get ready for the first family Thanksgiving.
I've done Thanksgiving with him a couple of times and it's not made an appearance. Mm-hmm. And I think since he's not drinking anymore, like that ship has sailed. I don't think he's going to be like helicoptering. I'll
guarantee I could talk him out of it. I could talk it out.
So you're like the penis whisperer.
I'm like the Indian guy with the flute, and his penis is like the
so you're gonna get
cobra. The cobra.
I feel like you're going to be down there doing like little motivational speeches. Like, don't you want to come out and kiss all the girls and make them cry? Come on. Woo for him, little Nate. Woo.
Come on. We want to see that babe. Come on, the baby's on.
What the fuck are we doing right now?
We are going way off camera. Holy shit.
Sandman throws a ladder into the ring without regard for his opponents. It nails Terry Funk. Down he goes. Yeah.
And he drops the ladder right on Stevie Richards as well. But throwing the ladder in the ring, just throwing it. Just, good God.
There's going to be a spot here in just a second with Terry Funk and the ladder that is one of my favorite memories of my wrestling fandom.
Okay.
I'll let you know when we get there. On the way there, though, let me ask a question here. This is a pretty fun one here. Richie wants to know, does Terry Funk or does Tony Schiavone have a Terry Funk impression?
Probably not a good one.
Well, I mean, nothing on this show is good. That's kind of the rib. I saw Zack Ryder at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he said, man, I got to tell you, that Tony Schiavone podcast, that first one with Goldberg, that was fucking so bad. But now it's so bad, it's good. He's like, I would play it for the boys when we were going to towns, and Ziggler would be like, turn this shit off. It's the fucking worst thing ever. And now he wants it every time because it's so bad, it's good. I think that should be our slogan for the show. Yeah. So bad, it's good.
Yeah, well, fuck Zack Ryder and fuck Dolph Ziggler and fuck you.
Moonsault! 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 Let's run through this. Terry Funk, as you said, is 85 years old. The motherfucker just moonsaulted off of a ladder.
And let's remember, he's a member of one of the great wrestling families of all time.
Absolutely.
And he's doing this shit. Oh, my, good God almighty.
An NWA world champion back when being NWA world champion was the thing to be.
Exactly.
By the way, let me just back up here. I'm not motherfucking Kurt Hawkins or Dolph Ziggler or Zack Ryder. Those guys wear our shit and support our show and say lowest rules and all that jazz, you need to take that back.
No, if I say fuck you, it's a term of endearment for me.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck you. Yeah. And
yeah, you.
Yeah. And fuck them.
Okay. Right.
Not really.
Okay. So there you go. There's Mike Jones dressed in a green shower curtain down the bottom. Who was this guy? What was was he really a wrestler? This guy in the green?
The gimmick is they're trying to mimic Dennis Rodman, of course, with the boa and the dyed hair and all that.
Got it. Jeez.
And, obviously the other BWO members are Hulk Hogan, and they're calling him, or I guess in the ring, they're calling Stevie Richards here, Big Stevie Cool, like Big Daddy Cool.
Okay.
And they're calling the Blue Meanie, the blue guy, like the bad guy for Razor Ramon.
Whoa. Right. 1, 2. Oh, and he kicked out of it. Yeah. The Sandman, for all the great shit that he does coming in the ring, he just kind of just throwing shit and lying around there, isn't he?
Well, what'd you think? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Jesus. It's a wonder a guy didn't get killed in this fucking thing. Absolutely wonder a guy didn't get killed. Oh, damn it. That was my only Terry Funk.
Jay Blaze wants to know, who do you think that we've seen tonight has a low-key big hog?
Well, I would think it would be Taz.
Really?
I think we kind of got a shot of that, didn't we? And
I didn't remember looking. I don't want to look.
Well, I was looking just because it was kind of thrust in front of me.
Dave Silva may know.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Dave.
So is this your first time seeing a Sandman match? Of course, you've seen Stevie wrestle. You've seen Terry Funk wrestle.
First time I've seen Sandman. The only thing I've seen to Sandman is an entrance from YouTube again.
The referee here, do you want to name him?
Yeah, let's call him Rob Roy.
See, I was going to go Jake from State Farm.
Okay. See, you asked me to name these guys when you always have a better name than I do. Well, I know what's going on now. I got it. I get it.
What do you mean?
I know what's going on.
I told you the gimmick this week.
Yeah.
So check this out. This is one of my favorite wrestling memories ever. I need your commentary here.
Oh my God. It's a Three Stooges spot, right? Yep. Curly's got the 2x4 up. Down goes Mo and down goes Larry. Yeah, baby. Oh, absolutely. And then of course he spun himself out.
3 or 4 years ago, I had an opportunity to hang out with Terry Funk, and he randomly said, "Do you have that first ECW pay-per-view?" And I said, "I do." This is before the network. And so I threw in the DVD here, and he wanted to watch this match. And as he's spinning around with this ladder on his head, he says, "I went to college." That is the fucking best line ever. As he puts a ladder around his head, it spins around hitting other dudes. I went to college. And I start laughing, and he's like, "I'm serious. Can you imagine watching this and saying, this is how my grandpa makes a living?"
Well, behind the scenes, Terry Funk was one of the funniest, friendliest, nicest guys ever. He really was. When I first came back into WCW, they took him off of the Worldwide show. They had him on with Chris Cruz. And I thought for sure, I may have told this story, I thought for sure that he was going to be pissed off at me. And he never was. He was just, but he kind of played it up. Like, "Schiavone, why did you take me off that show?" But he was just always really cool about it. And I should have had a chance to work with him.
Peter wants to know, are we covering this show because we've officially run out of ideas?
No, we're covering this show because obviously I did not have a good enough behind the scenes. Oh, wow. Lodi's boot. Down goes Sandman. 1, 2 count. Obviously, I have not had good enough behind the scenes shit. So that's why we brought Bischoff in. So he can really give you the behind the scenes shit. And I could just do the silly shit.
Well, okay. Now that's not exactly fair. We've been doing watch along for a long time. I thought it would be fun to get your reaction to ECW. I sort of freestyled it on an episode a few weeks back.
Yeah.
People were into it and wanted it. So fuck it. Here we go.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm enjoying it. I really am. And the reason I'm enjoying it, I haven't seen this yet. Never.
Right.
And this is really kind of this. If you think about it, I'm serious about this. I've said it before. This is kind of the forerunner to what we're seeing in pro wrestling now. High spots, tables, crazy shit. That's what we're seeing in wrestling now. We're not seeing Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat stuff anymore.
Right.
We're seeing this stuff. So this stuff has now lasted. This stuff has now lasted the time. Not the old Mid-Atlantic, the old Harley Race shit. This stuff. So I'm enjoying it. I really am. And it's just, and again, it just blows my mind. And I don't know what these kids made back then. Look at this. Just improvising. I don't know what these kids made back then. I'm sure Funk, traveled around and made good money wherever he made, but it just amazes to me that what they would do, the crazy things they would do to their bodies.
For the love of the sport.
For the love of the sport, because they weren't making money like Savage or Hogan or Flair were.
No.
So there is a tremendous amount of respect that I have for these guys. Back then, I heard about it. I didn't care about it because I was old school, but now I have a tremendous amount of respect for it. I really do. And we got guys in MLW like Jimmy Havoc, like Darby Allin, like those guys. I mean, just Shane Strickland will do crazy shit. I mean, Joey Janela, they do that crazy shit, and I just scratch my head, man. I say, good for you guys. But and again, Daniel Bryan, his career suffered because of all crazy shit that he did, and he finally was able to come back and get in the ring again. But this extreme stuff is stood the test. What is this? I thought it was a beer keg at first.
Can you imagine if he threw a beer keg that far, that hard? How bad that would have hurt? That would have killed somebody.
Yeah, but they didn't give a fuck.
I love you for that.
They didn't. I mean, and again, when you throw shit, hit somebody with something's different. But when you throw it, that adds a certain element of the fuck. See, what is he trying to do here? That adds a certain element of danger because they can bounce, they can fly, they can hit a rope, hit a fan. And this match has gotten so fucking crazy that even the rabid ECW fans are just kind of gawking, saying, "What in the fuck are we looking at?"
Hey, let me just say, I love Arn Anderson, but that picture that you uploaded of you and Arn Anderson backstage,
yeah,
it looks like Arn Anderson's trying to sell us term life insurance.
Yeah, yeah, no, or he's just come to our house as an Orkin inspector, telling us we had termites.
Who's the old man who used to do the diabetes commercials?
Yeah, I know. Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley is Arn Anderson's uncle. I just realized that.
I'm Wilford Brimley. I want to talk to you about diabetes.
Conrad, I got bad news. You got diabetes. Oh my God.
Absolutely. No, I'm really enjoying this. And I wasn't sure I would, but I really am. And I kind of like to go back and listen to it again, listen to Styles' commentary. I really would.
They're hitting the shit out of each other, man.
And they are. And again, I mean, once again, Flair said this on his 30 for 30. Okay. There's nothing fake about this. It's choreographed, but they are, I mean, my God, they are just improvising and freestyling and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And they keep kicking fucking out. I mean, I would think that if I'd been hit with a trash can and that ladder and those chairs and those tables ad nauseum, that I would just want to lay down and say, all right, I had enough of this shit, man. Right. But they keep kicking out. Oh man. I don't know about you, but that Dennis Rodman character sticks out like a sore thumb every time he walks back and forth. See, look at, fuck. What? Oh, this is, again, you get flying paraphernalia. You never know where it's going to land. And those fans standing up over there, looking, I hope it didn't hit a fan over there. But again, some fan, isn't it true that in Japan, fans love to get involved in the matches? They felt that if a wrestler went outside and hit a fan, that was high praise for the fan. That was an honor. Did you ever hear that story?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe the fans here are like this as well. If they get hit by a fucking flying ladder, then they feel like it's an honor as well. My God, Stevie, stay down. Did they just pin him? Yep. All right. Phew. I'm thinking if I'm Stevie Richards, I'm glad it's over. Roll his ass out of the ring. And now Sandman and Terry Funk. Wow. How much more can a person endure? I'm not talking about watching this. I'm talking about these two guys.
It's a lot, man.
Yeah. And, you know, they're doing this for what? This has been what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes of a match?
I'm not exactly sure how long they've been going, but they've been going a while here, buddy.
25, not of a match, 25 minutes of fucking carnage.
Yeah.
Is what this is. And he hasn't even used the kendo stick yet. And so Stevie's out of the match, and what do? They fall on his prone ass on the floor. Stevie rolls out saying, thank God I'm out of this. And what do? They fucking fall on him. Oh, my God. Here's another thing that amazes me. With the exception of the beer cans to Sandman's head, we haven't seen any juice here yet. And I don't know what Sandman thinks he's going to do with all these streamers. Wait a minute. Is that barbed wire he's got the streamers wrapped around?
Yes.
Holy shit. Oh, of course it is. Why not? Funk gets him with a trash can. Another Three Stooges spot. Dick Murdoch was good at Three Stooges spots too, by the way.
The best. Dick Murdoch was the best.
Yeah, he could do that. He could do that that dance that Curly could do. And now we're going to get some juice. Holy shit, we're going to get it to, oh God, just, they had the streamers all tangled up in the barbed wire and whipping the back of the Sandman, and you know it's juice coming the hard way. Oh, Lordy. I often thought that back in the day when we had matches with barbed wire wrapped around the ring,
right?
That they would file down the points.
No.
Yeah, they would back then.
No, I get that. In ECW, that's
no, they
legit.
didn't do it. They didn't do it. There's no way they did.
Right.
Yeah. So he's got streamers coming out of his ass. Streamers coming out of his ass, and a leg drop from the top.
I feel like we need an endorsement from Party City right now. Come on down to Party City and use our promo code. You'll have streamers coming out of the ass.
Oh my God. Everybody, I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am, because I was unsure some of the things that I had seen leading up to this, but man, this thing is a fucking riot we're watching right now. It is an absolute riot. It's the unknown comic. Oh, God. Oh, my God. So, yeah, put the trash can on his head, and then, thank God he took that off. It broke his neck. He's going to do a moonsault. Terry Funk with another moonsault on the barbed wire, and he gets the win. Terry Funk is going to go on to wrestle Raven for the ECW championship.
I feel like I should tell you here, they've run long on time. So they only have a few minutes here left in the satellite time.
Okay.
And this building, of course, is a converted bingo hall. So they've overloaded this thing, and just literally seconds after they go off the air, and they're in a definite time crunch here. Literally seconds after they go off the air, they lose power. The breaker blows, the generator blows, everything goes completely black. So had they missed time to this just a little bit, people would not have seen the finish.
Wow. How about that? And they wouldn't have had bingo, and the ladies in the oxygen and everything coming in the next day would have been pissed off.
I feel like we should mention too, that the person doing the time cues for this,
yeah,
you want to guess who it was?
It was Craig Leathers. I don't know.
It was Sonny.
Oh, really?
Yep.
And
let that go.
Okay. There's got to be a story there somewhere.
No, she was trying to get somebody to show her the ropes.
I bet. Hey, Sonny was, here we go.
Sonny.
Here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we look at. Fucking, oh God, Terry Funk bleeding. Jesus. So now let me get this right. So the breaker blows, the lights go out, and all these rabid fans have to exit in the dark somewhat. It reminds me of back in 1987, we're working an event at the UIC Pavilion, and Gary Juster comes to me and says, I think I'm a ring announcer there that night, and Gary Juster comes to me and says, there are thunderstorms all around here in Chicago, and there's blackouts all over the city. If the lights go out, your microphone will still be hot. You tell the fans, please be calm. The lights will be back on soon. And I said, if the lights go out, Gary, I'm getting under the fucking ring. Fuck that. Who's the guy just got in the ring with the tie on? I guess he's a doctor.
That's right.
Checking out to see if Terry Funk is not bled to death as of yet. So I just, Jesus, man. I did go to college.
What are you thinking of your first ECW?
Just spectacular. I mean, really, just unabridged chaos is what it is. So Raven's going to go out, get a table. They're running short on time. Terry Funk's been gouged, cut, bleeding, using a ladder, trash can, using, and I guess, is this doctor trying to tape his head up as they're going along here? For what? Let him freaking bleed, man. Good God. I guess this is, and I know he became quite a legend before then, but this was one of the matches, I guess, that made Terry Funk a hardcore legend, right?
Absolutely. I mean, he's helping make them here in a big way.
Right. So Raven just picked up a chair and slung it at Funk. And again, so dangerous when you just throw things. He doesn't have enough room to put the table up here. So he's going to improvise here a little bit. I got to get this situated here. Funk comes out from under a table and Raven back to Jesus. And again, they're freestyling here, right? Because he thinks he has room to put the table up. Oh, my God. Look at that bloody mess on the table, for crying out loud. Oh, my God. Look at this. Oh, Jesus. Oh, as that sign in the background says, oh, my God. That's all I could say. And that's it. I guess the doctor wanted to call the match, and the match still going on because Raven decked him. Is a finish even really important here?
I mean, I think it is.
What is this, the forerunner of Raven's Flock?
That's exactly right. So you've got all of his minions that he's sort of, and that's a lady in the ring beating up Terry Funk right now.
Is it really?
And now a pile driver.
Holy shit.
I don't know what that was.
Who is that?
It's Lois.
No, although Lois is that size of that linebacker.
So he dispatched his minions to take care of Tommy Dreamer, who was his biggest rival in ECW.
Yeah.
And they've been feuding the entire time they've been here in ECW. And allegedly it goes back to when they were children, and Beulah McGillicuddy was there as the fat girl as a child.
Right.
And so now Tommy Dreamer has about had enough of this. He takes down the chain. He's going to go handle some business.
Is the match over?
No, they're still going, but he's in the middle of it. He thinks he's got Terry Funk in hand. Okay.
Because I saw the doctor try to call it off, and
now this right here, look at this fellow. Who would you call that? What do you think his name is?
That's Bill DeMott. That's gotta be right.
Actually, his name's Big Dick.
Okay. Big Dick Lamont. Okay. And heard a lot of stories about him as a trainer too, by the way, in NXT.
They announced that Big Dick Dudley is fresh out of jail. So he's out of jail and he's here to take care of Tommy Dreamer on behalf of Raven.
Oh, they're
right in front of the front door, by the way. I should mention this. Right in front of the front door.
And wait a minute, there's a table. I see it. I see it. How many tables are stacked up there, for God's sakes? 1, 2. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, now you know the chant of ECW is coming out now. Oh, my God.
The childlike glee of Tony Schiavone. It's worth it.
It's
worth it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sold. Even though Paul Heyman hates me, I'm sold. Fuck, Paul, you knew what you were doing. You and Tommy Dreamer and your whole crew. And the match still is going on. That's what's freaking amazing about all this.
Yeah, it's not over. We're not done.
All right. Oh, no, trash can. And he throws. Oh, here comes Dreamer now. Is that Dreamer? Yeah, it is him in the ring. And look at Terry Funk just still bleeding. And Funk, as Raven is down, Funk's got to roll over. 1, 2. Oh, of course, a false finish. Inside cradle. 1, 2, 3. He won it with an inside cradle. He won this fucker with an inside cradle. He had barbed wire stuck up his ass. He had, oh my God, he had a ladder, and a trash can, and it was an inside cradle that won the fucker. God bless America. And God bless pro wrestling.
How great is that?
Yo, that is outstanding. That is absolutely outstanding. And there at 82 years of age, Terry Funk is a champion. And yeah, look at this. They ain't a champion tonight, boys and girls. He's a fucking survivor is what he is on this night. If you don't like this shit, man, then you're dead. Then you're absolutely dead.
Your first impression of ECW, of course, you've heard a lot about it. You heard that it was all blood and guts and nonsensical bullshit. That's certainly the rap that a lot of people in wrestling give it. And I'm sure that's probably what some of your expectation was.
Yeah.
But now, having sat through a full show, 2 hours and 42 minutes worth, what'd you think?
It was violent, nonsensical, a lot of bullshit, but I loved it. I loved it. What's not to love about it? And again, I go back to how this says, and there you see the fans hugging with him and everything. I go back to saying that what ECW brought to the table has stood the test of time in the last 20 years. It really has. Fans are more involved in matches now than they ever were. And they're involved in matches now than they ever were because of the fan involvement in ECW back then. So my hat's off to them. So yeah, man, fucking cool.
So let's run through what we've got coming for you down the pike. Of course, we've sort of talked about how Tony has a shit ton of baseball coming up. So we're going to go ahead and let you know what we've laid out. Now we do have one poll coming up and we're going to throw it up. You can go vote right now on Twitter at WHW Monday. Now what you're going to be voting for is to decide what goes on the next poll. So this is a poll for a poll, if that makes sense. And what we're going to do is we're going to let you vote right now as to what you would like for us to cover on April 30th. Do you want us to do some old Crockett TV? Or do you want us to cover some WCW Saturday Night, which has just been uploaded to the WWE Network? So those are your two choices. Do you want Crockett TV or WCW Saturday Night? Now, we're not going to cover all of them. We're going to do a watch along and we're going to pick one. But what we're going to do is we're going to see what you want first, Crockett or WCW Saturday Night. And then whatever wins, we'll suggest 4 episodes next week that you can vote on. Now, I know what you're thinking. Conrad, what are we hearing next week? We're going to cover Spring Stampede 1994. And this is one of the most underrated pay-per-views in history. It's at the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago. The dark match that night, I'm sure you remember this, was Christopher Knight and Danny Bonaducci. And then the actual main event was Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat for the world title. Underneath them, we had Vader and the Boss, who we remember as the Big Boss Man. Bunkhouse Buck with Colonel Robert Parker going to be taking on Dustin Rhodes. We've got Sting and Rick Rude for the international title, Steve Austin and the Great Muta for the United States title, a Chicago street fight with the Nasty Boys taking on Cactus Jack and Max Payne. That's something to see. We've got Lord Steven Regal taking on Brian Pillman. We've also got Johnny B. Bad working with Diamond Dallas Page, and that's what we're covering next week. It'll be Spring Stampede 1994. Of course, it's a watch along. Now, the week after that, on April 30th, we're going to cover either a Crockett TV or a WCW Saturday Night. Now, there's lots of different choices there, Tony, that's on the network. If you had to pick, what would you rather talk about? Now, of course, we're going to let the fans pick, but would you rather cover a WCW Saturday Night or some old Crockett TV?
Well, of course, affectionately, I would rather cover the old Crockett stuff. And when we talk about WCW Saturday Night, we're not talking about the old Crockett 2-hour TBS show.
We're talking like 92, 93, 94, 95, right. Something in there.
Right, something in there. So, and those were center stage tapings. We could talk about some of the things that happened at center stage, some of the crazy things behind the scenes, but the old Crockett stuff, I really would like to cover. And I think about Magnum TA and Dusty Rhodes, Nikita Koloff, Midnight Express, Rock and Roll Express, Jim Cornette's first appearance, on nationwide TV. Basically, those were some fond memories for me. So I kind of like to go that direction.
We've got all of May mapped out for you too. I'm going to run it down right now. May 7th, we're going to cover Slamboree 1998. There's lots of stuff going on that pay-per-view, but it's most famous for Bischoff challenging Vince to a fight. So that's going to come to you on May 7th. The following week, we've got May 14th, and this is going to be Capital Combat 1990. This is exactly what you're hoping for. It's RoboCop.
Oh my God.
On May 21st, we're going to cover Slamboree 1993. That's the one where they did the Legends reunion. That should be hilarious when you let Tony riff on what those legends might be thinking or saying. And then on February 28th, we're going to cover the historic Nitro from May 26, 1996, when Scott Hall made his debut. So we've got a loaded set of shows coming your way. We'll recap again next week, Spring Stampede 94. The following week, you want to vote right now. Do you want Crockett or do you want WCW Saturday Night? May 7th is Slamboree 98. May 14th is Capital Combat 1990. Set your calendars. May 21st, Slamboree 93. And of course, May 28th is that historic Nitro where Scott Hall debuted and changed wrestling forever. And we'd love to hear your feedback. Of course, if you've got a question about Spring Stampede 94, you can ask it right now on Facebook at facebook.com/WHW Monday. And stay tuned because one day this week, Tony is going to do a Joel Gertner style promo on Facebook for you. And we're also asking for your tattoo suggestions on Twitter because one way or another, we're getting your ass to the Painted Gypsy Man. We're getting this tattoo done. Are you alive?
Yeah, I'm alive.
Am I going to have to beat you into it?
No, I'm going to do it.
Well, I know you're going to do it, and you want to do it for the fans because we had a very special fan show us a little bit of love over WrestleMania weekend. And I feel like before we give him a minute, maybe you should go ahead and tell us what time it is.
It is time to get out of here on WHW Monday. And we have had a wonderful day of watching ECW, ECF&W, hardcore wrestling. Nothing like it. Terry Funk and the Sandman, Raven, Tommy Dreamer. Also, Bill DeMott making an appearance. The Dudleys, Blood, Guts, Sabu, High Spots. It's all part of What Happened When, and we'll see you next week. So we're talking with James Harrison from all the way up in Vermont as we end up this episode of What Happened When. And the reason we got James with us, and this is a first, James, I want to let you know that, because we do not do interviews on this program. We said, there's nobody worthy to do an interview until we find the right slapdick. And guess what? You're the right slapdick. And here's why we got James on. James is the one that had the lowest rule signs at the lowest rule sign at WrestleMania. James, first of all, you have no idea what it means to us that you're out there, that you're a part of this. Thank you so much. Tell us a brief story about you getting that sign up and what it took for you to get and your family from Vermont down to New Orleans and back.
I got a lot of kids and my boys. It was my birthday. Sunday was my birthday, and my brother Chris he upgraded our tickets, and we had 2 seats. And he was like, "Man, you just give them to your boys. Give them to your boys. Bring them down with us. We'll go down. We'll have a blast. It's your birthday." And we got down there. They took a bus back. Actually, my two sons. We flew back. You know.
Wait a minute. Your sons took a bus from New Orleans to Vermont?
Yeah. They rode the Greyhound back.
Oh, shit.
It's a good bonding thing for them. You know, it's good. I mean,
yeah, 3 days in the bus, guys. You better bond.
Oh, that's about the size of it, you know. Right. And my wife actually and my two daughters, they made the sign. I asked them to. They know how much wrestling means to me and how much the podcast. I'm a stay-at-home dad in the wintertime, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. Conrad, all your shit. I listen to all that shit.
Thanks, man.
Tony, but this podcast to me, I love because I got, my brother, he don't really listen to watch WCW. Got him into watching it through the watch-alongs. They're so fun. And so I was like, you know what? Tony means so much to me. His wife means so much to him. Huh. What would you do for a guy? You do something for his wife. So the sign, I was like, yeah, that'll get the pop. And we just happened to be in the right spot.
Not only in the right spot, but man, the right colors. Our Twitter blew up. It was so prominent on television. You had the best seats ever, the best sign ever, the best colors ever. And we do have a pretty firm policy here. No guests needed, but man, we had to make an exception for you. We are super excited that you took that sign. And of course, we've got a care package headed your way. And Tony, I asked him off air if he wouldn't mind sending you the sign, because I thought, you know what, that's worthy of being in your man cave because, well, let's be honest. That's as close as we're getting to WrestleMania.
That's as close I'm going to get. And I do want the sign, James. We are sending you a care package. You have a beautiful family. And just to let you know, again, thanks for being out there and thanks for listening to WHW Monday. Hopefully we're making you smile on a weekly basis.
You definitely do. Well, I got a second, if I could, just give a shout out to my two brothers, Steve and Chris, and my boys, Michael, Alec, and Austin, Mrs. Harrison, of course, and my girls, Mariana and Layla. And on my way home, I did run in, I know today was the ECW day, and I ran into Justin Credible at the airport, and he's got a documentary coming out, and up here where I'm from, the struggle is real as far as addiction. And he's overcoming that, and he spent an hour and a half just hanging out with me, and he's a really great dude. And if they could I encourage anybody to check out his documentary. Just support that guy. DDP is the real deal. And thank you. Thank you, guys. This is a dream come true. Thank you.
Well, it was a dream come true for us. And I want to mention, since you mentioned him, Justin Credible is actually going to be appearing on friend of the show, Matt Coon's Why It Ended podcast later this week, where there'll be more information about that documentary. So check out Why It Ended from Matt Coon, the guy who put together our silly theme song and even our special ECW silly theme song, and hear more about Justin Credible's story. But we really wanted to take a minute to sort of celebrate you, man. We've had lots of people who got our shirts on TV or made signs for us, and we really appreciate, all the effort that it takes to get a sign and make a sign and get it on TV at Raw or SmackDown or NXT or TNA or Lucha Underground, any of these places. But the idea that Tony had his WrestleMania moment, man, that was pretty fucking cool, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you so much, man. You just let me know how to get that signed to Tony, man, and that's a done deal. There's no problem. This is literally a dream come true. Conrad, to talk to you. I mean, Tony, obviously, you were a voice of my childhood. This is a dream come true. It means so much to me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No,
I'm going to keep about 5 fans because I got about that many people, but they're going to follow you. So I hope your bandwidth is ready.
We're ready, man. And I'm going to have you send that sign to me, and I'm holding it hostage till I get my fucking tag belt. What's the holdup? Oh, my 6-man tag belt, Tony.
James, you want to take us out of here? We end the show.
The Schiavone Drip?
The Schiavone Drip.
Sorry.
Ass.
We're out of time.
We're desperately out of time.
We are desperately out of time, but we're going to keep the tape machines rolling, right?
That's right.
Thanks,
man.
man.
James.
I love you guys. Thank you.